is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Florida.
The goal in baseball over 162 games is to win series. And the Marlins have a nice opportunity to win a 4-game series. And that's not easy in Major League Baseball. The Fish, winners of the last 2 against this very good Pirates team, try to make it 3 in a row as the series closes tonight on a Thursday night. And a Wei-Yin Chen start for the Fish. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Preston Wilson. Welcome to Marlins Park. When the Marlins lineup came out tonight, Giancarlo Stanton was not in it. He returned last night from an absence of about a week. But after batting practice, all of a sudden up on the scoreboard, Stanton's name popped in. What gives, Preston?
Well, it's one of those cases where they have to evaluate Stanton somewhat on a day-by-day basis at times to see how he feels, to see how he's faring from that oblique injury. But I'll tell you one thing. Cole Gillespie was ready to go. He had a great batting practice. His name was in the lineup originally. He was spraying line drives all over the place, and he was a little bit crestfallen when he found out that the big guy was ready to go.
To get the 2 wins in this series, it was A.J. Ramos' wild ride and then Adeiny Echeverria's double last night. But if you look at what the Marlins have had their last 3 ball games, there's a common thread, and that's starting pitching. Marlins have had 3 terrific starts in this series.
Well, this ball team is going to fare how their starting pitching goes. Nicasio gave a good effort. Jose Fernandez was fabulous, and Adam Conley looked great last night, especially with his ability to throw good 2-strike pitches, put away pitches when he was ahead in the count.
And of course, as you look, Fernandez didn't give up a run. Conley didn't give up a run. Now Wei-Yin Chen gets the ball in this one. For Chen, what's topic number 1 as he faces this Pirate lineup?
Topic number 1 is to get ahead and throw strikes. Topic number 2 is to borrow the playbook from Conley. And when he gets ahead of batters with these 0-2, 2-strike counts, don't give guys pitches that are too good to hit. Bury that curveball. Elevate that fastball. Be a little bit nasty when you got the advantage.
This has been a very entertaining series so far in all 3 games as the Marlins get ready to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates and finish off this 4-game sets. Miami and Pittsburgh. We're headed out to center field when we get back. Of Miami Marlins baseball. Night falling in Miami. Pirates and Marlins out to center field. Jeff Conine, Craig Minervini. Guys.
Wow, do we have to leave that shot? What a great shot there aboard the whatever kind of sailboat that was. Hi, everybody, with Jeff, Craig, and let's get to the big story for the Marlins tonight. Giancarlo Stanton, first of all, returning for the first time in a week last night.
Yeah, last night after a week off, kind of felt a little tightness in his right side that he was missed the previous 7 days for. So they want to give him a little bit of a leeway here going into tonight's game.
Marlins sat with that last night into today. Don Mattingly put a lineup out around noontime, 1 o'clock. No Ozuna, deserved day off, and no Stanton. We talked with him about it when he met with the press around 4:30.
Oz has been going for a few days. We knew this was going to be his day. He's been going pretty steady, and we knew we had to get him one. So he's for sure. Big G is really one that he still may play tonight. We're going to see where he ends up going. But I just want to go ahead and put a lineup out and be able to change it later, so everybody knows that it could change. So we'll see what happens with the swings.
So Don gave us an indication maybe it will change. Stanton takes some batting practice in the cage, and the Marlins got good news after that.
Yeah, change it did. Giancarlo Stanton felt good after taking his swings in batting practice. Say, hey, Skip, I'm good to go. So he's in the lineup tonight, number 4 spot.
That's important, especially with Ozuna out and carrying the team a little bit. You get Stanton back in there, Bohr behind him. Marlins with a good-looking lineup here to go at the Pittsburgh Pirates and try and pull off a very rare series win over the Pirates. The Bucks have had the Fish number for quite a while now under manager Clint Hurdle, a playoff team the last 3 years as well. It's been a good series. Marlins hope to finish it off in style. You'll watch it next on Fox Sports Florida. Enjoy it.
Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. By the Florida Department of Transportation, reminding you, drive sober or get pulled over. By your local Toyota dealers, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Wei-Yin Chen leaves the Marlins out. The Fish and the Pirates finish a 4-game set. And here come the Buccos, brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
Leading off, Josh Harrison. Second, Andrew McCutchen. David Freese is batting third. Jung Ho Kang is batting fourth. Frank Cervelli is in the 5-hole. Starting Marte is sixth. Jordy Mercer is seventh. Matty Joyce gets a start in right field. He's batting eighth. And Juan Nicasio, the hard-throwing right-hander, is ninth.
Wei-Yin Chen, for the 11th time, opening night starter for the Fish. A record of 3-2. His last time out, he lasted just 5 innings, but he was good. He gave up just a run and struck out 5, a no decision in a ball game in which Atlanta came from behind and won 7-2. Defensively for the Marlins, quite a series defensively for Danny Echeverria. Southwest Airlines presents Christian Yelich, Ichiro, giving Marcell Ozuna a night off. Giancarlo Stanton is in right. Martin Prado just a bore on the corners. Miguel Rojas takes over for Derek Dietrich at second. Danny Echeverria is at short. And JT Realmuto is behind the plate. And Wei-Yin Chen is on the hill, ready to face Josh Harrison, Andrew McCutchen, and David Freese. First pitch fastball is a strike. And a look at Harrison, who's been active, as he usually is. 5 hits and 3 runs in this series. By the way, Derek Dietrich hit by a pitch last night. As we left there, we were not sure of his status. There's a look at Dietrich. Thank goodness it's broken, which is amazing having watched that video last night. It's a bruise, and he's taking treatment on it, and hopefully in a few days he'll be ready to get back in there.
That was about as much of a direct hit as you can get. It was so flush. I'm surprised, but pleasantly surprised that it is only just a bruise.
Here's a 1-2. Harrison goes after a fastball and fouls it off. That pitch right there from Chen is something we didn't see early, and that is under the direction of Juan Nieves. With 2 strikes, don't just pump one over the plate. Elevate a fastball, bury a breaking ball like that, and see if you can get a swing and a miss. And you know what? He's been able to get that. He's got 50 strikeouts in 10 starts. Two. Harrison fouls that off. The Pirates in the leadoff spot have been quite creative. Harrison was in there game 1, had a couple hits. Clint Hurdle in game 2 had John Jaso as first baseman hitting leadoff. Jordy Mercer at shortstop last night, and Harrison's back in there tonight. That ball's hit pretty well, right center field. Stanton is over and there, and he makes the catch. So Harrison is out number 1, and here comes Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen has those old school Pirate colors flying on his socks. 3 hits in the series. He was 1 for 4 last night. The Fort Meade, Florida native in his 8th year as a Pirate.
We've seen it a lot this series. McCutchen has gone after the first pitch quite often. He's fastball hunting early. He's trying to get going in that 2-hole. He's thinking he's going to get more fastballs, and he's definitely attacking it that way.
High pop. Echeverria onto the infield grass, veers right, and makes the catch. And so Chen has a pair of uneventful outs. And here comes David Freese. That's the luxury that the Pirates have, really, is you think about the last 7 seasons, Clint Hurdle and managers before had McCutchen in the centerpiece of that lineup. I mean, he was the guy for a few years while the Pirates tried to figure out a winning formula, while they drafted and signed all these young good players, the Martes. And McCutcheon now is in the 2 spot with Freese behind him, who's blistered the ball to right center in this series. 5 for 8 with 3 doubles.
Oh, 2 count. Let's see if Chen is able to stay with that philosophy of expanding the zone right here. Good pitch.
Chen's last start, a rather historic one for him and his country. 127th Major League start. It broke a tie with Chen Ming-Wong. Most games started by a Taiwanese pitcher. That in Major League history. They are the only 2 Taiwanese pitchers to eclipse 100 starts. He's behind him in wins. Chen's got 49 wins. Wong 62. 6 other Taiwanese-born pitchers in Major League history. He went, and Chen Ming-Wong, a very nice and tidy first inning here tonight. Pirates and Marlins finishing a 4-game set. Marlins first swings of the night when we return. Ichiro getting ready to lead it off for Miami. Bottom of the first, Pirates and Marlins are scoreless. Miami's lineup brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
Ichiro chasing 3,000 is at the top. Martin Prado is second. Christian Yelich hitting 313 is in the 3-hole. Big G, good enough to go today, is hitting cleanup. Justin Moore backs him up in the 5-hole. JT Real Muto, the good young catcher, 7th. Danny Echeverria, 7th. 8th. Miguel Rojas. Wei-Yin Chen is the pitcher.
Juan Nicasio out of the Dominican Republic, 29 years old. Big guy, 6'4", 250. As Jeff Conine documented on Marlins Live, good early, not so much lately. His month of May brought a 6.75 ERA in 4 starts. Ichiro, ground ball second, and that's Josh Harrison out there, and he bounces one to Freese, who helps out his second base buddy. Pirates defense, very versatile and very good in the outfield especially. Southwest Airlines brings it to you. Starling Marte in left, Andrew McCutcheon in center. Matt Joyce with the start in right. Gregory Polanco still with that sore foot off a foul ball. Jung Ho Kang is at third. David Freese at first. Jordy Mercer, Josh Harrison up the middle, and Francisco Cervelli, the excitable catcher for the Pirates. And here's Martin Prado. Prado hitless in the first game of this series. He got a much needed off day in game 2, and he responded with a 2-for-4 night last night. And of course, if you've been with us for a while, you know that Marcell Ozuna is getting the night off tonight. Don Mattingly said that that had been scheduled for some time, and we'll see if maybe that jump starts Ozuna in the Mets series on Friday night. That one banged off of Cervelli.
If you can notice, when a catcher really tries to frame a ball, they don't always catch it in the pocket. He tried to catch this ball in the heel of his glove to trick the umpire into thinking that ball is closer to the plate.
Well, I don't think that Chad Fairchild fell for it. 2.
Here we go. Take a look at this. He's already sitting up on the inside, but he doesn't want to move the glove to give it up to the umpire. See, look where he catches that. Oh, he catches it off the tip of the glove, trying to frame that. Those catchers, they try to be so crafty, trying to sneak it in our pitcher. But that one, he just absolutely missed, Rich.
2-2 pitch is fouled off. 94 miles an hour at the fastball from Nicasio. He throws a 4-seamer. Will throw a 2-seamer. 24% is where he's sitting on his sliders, and an occasional changeup to the tune of 2%. And there is that slider. That must have been the 24%.
That's a nasty one. All right, let's scout Juan Nicasio here. Let's check him out. Was signed as a 19-year-old free agent by the Rockies in 2006. He brings it. 2-seamers in the mid-90s, 4-seamers in the high 90s. And he's an inside job guy. What that means is the Pirates preach pitching on the inside part of the plate. You want to know how much? They led Major League Baseball in hit batsmen last year, and I believe it was 76 hit batters, 75.
Yeah, the 76 guy got hit, but the umpire didn't see it.
They didn't call it, yeah.
Yelich up there now. 3 for 10 is Yelich in the series. Couple RBIs. Big shift for him, which is interesting. Yelich is normally a guy that teams play almost straight up in the outfield and the infield. But look at the Pirates. They are all pulled around to the right side. We'll see if Nicasio tries to pound Yelich inside.
I don't know if I agree with this, Chef, just because Yelich is really a spray hitter. He's not just a pull hitter. Maybe they're trying to pitch him a certain way and they believe that Nicasio can hit those spots.
There's the 2-1. Changeup misses up, and it's 3-1. There's hits by direction. Now the shift is on the infield is obviously only about ground balls and what they've scouted when Yelich hits the ball on the ground. And guess what? How'd that work out?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they got a whole different scouting department than what we see every day, but it's amazing that I've never seen this against Yelich. Look at where the third baseman is. He's playing a little bit to the right of the shortstop hole, but man, if you just look at it, this is so much room there. That ball might have been, what, 3 steps from the third baseman? Maybe, and where the third baseman's playing there, he's got no chance whatsoever.
So here is Stanton. He returned last night, was 0 for 3, a couple strikeouts, or excuse me, yeah, a couple strikeouts and a walk. Yelich at first, and a throw over, and he's back in. So Preston Wilson, from your observation, what did you see from Stanton last night? Did you see any progress?
I did see progress. I actually thought the at-bats were decent. He did get called for a strikeout on the low pitch on the last strikeout. But overall, I like this rhythm. I like his takes. I thought he was a lot more on time more often last night with his setup. So I hope things are going to keep going the right way for him. He did have a 3-game hitting streak going into last night.
One thing is obvious. The mask is back against the right-handed starter.
That's out.
In the throes of his slump, and it was a mighty slump. He removed that mask, which he wore against right-handed pitchers exclusively since he was hit in 2014. There's the valley that he's been in the last 9 games.
That's down.
And that's down as well. He counts 3-0.
And see, these takes are what I'm talking about. It's when a guy's going well, when he takes the ball, it almost seems like he's not even planning a swing. It's such a long take. He's seen it a long time. There's no flinch. That's a great take.
Nicasio missed his target by a bunch. Cervelli was actually set up off the plate, and that caught the inside corner. Watch where Cervelli is. Watch where he reaches.
But even with that, that's a good take by Stanton, because if you're going to swing 3-0, you don't want that pitch.
2.
It's a strike.
Borderline down.
That's the same spot that Stanton argued last night. We'll see what he gets here. 3-2. Yelich will be on the move with 2 outs. This ball game just underway in the bottom of the first. That is ball 4. Now Nicasio wanted that one.
I think that's a 50-50 right there. I think that ball may be actually a little bit better than the one before that. It's a really close pitch, but yeah, that pitch is better than the one before that. You know, just with the naked eye, I thought it was a little bit better. And Fox Tracks, you know, they agree with me on that one. But when that's tough not to get that pitch if you're Nicasio. But it was great for him to get the pitch before that, so 50-50.
The one that was at the very bottom, just under the line, was called a strike. That one was clearly at the knees. And Stanton gets ball 4. It brings Justin Bour up. And I suspect because there are runners first and second, the Pirates are not in extreme shift mode. You can see the shortstop Mercer not quite directly behind the bag at second, but over. Outfield straight up and deep. For 0 for 4 with an RBI in the series. Ball and a strike. Bohr's last home run back on the 22nd of May against Max Scherzer. He's sitting on a 2-1 pitch here.
Something to keep your eye on is Marlins production with runners in scoring position. This series they're 3 for 24 with runners in scoring position.
That's one area where the Marlins would like to clean up, and that is runners left on base. Marlins in the National League are 14th. And so they've left a ton on base. That despite the 3rd best batting average and the 6th best on base percentage. 3-1. Bohr cuts at a fastball, and it's 3-2.
Good live fastball here. Swung just under it.
Runners on the move with 2 outs. It's Juan Nicasio and Justin Bohr duel here. A single to Yelich, a walk to Stanton, and a 3-2 coming. Bohr cracks it over the middle. Mercer gathers and gets the out. And Nicasio is through the first without a blemish. Scoreless to the second.
En español vía SAP por West Kendall Toyota.
Did you see that, Preston? The Miami Lakes senior sluggers are here tonight.
Are they really?
There they are in
check
uniform.
them out. Yeah, they are.
In uniform.
They look intense too, man. I don't know. That might be a tough game to play right there. They look intense. They look like they go all out with it.
Jung Ho Kang, Francisco Cervelli, Starling Marte against Wei-Yin Chen. Chen misses up. Kang got the night off last night, coming off that leg injury. Broken bone near the knee, meniscus damage as well. Surgery in late September. Clint Hurdle, in getting him back, did not want to run him out there every day. Got a breaking ball, and he powers it into the gap. Ichiro is there, and he makes the catch and avoids Christian Yelich.
It's a good swing. Didn't quite get all of it, but really good swing by Kang and a great route by Yelich. I mean, by Ichiro. To run that ball down. I was thinking of Yelich, just how much ground he covers as well. He was right there. He could have caught that ball too.
He ran a good route as well. They were both open out there. And Kang hit Ichiro in stride. Cervelli now. Last night, Cervelli was on base a lot. He was 0 for 1 with 3 walks. Last night, a thrilling ball game. 2-2 ball game. Until Adeiny Echeverria's 2-out RBI double in the bottom of the 8th.
It's a shame Polanco fouled that ball off his foot, because it would have been really neat to see this series to at least have one game, which probably would have been last night, to see all 3 of the starting outfielders in the game to compare these 2 young outfields.
I think if you take a slice in time and go back to, ouch. And Cervelli gets hit and is down. Let's see where it got him.
Oh,
inside of the foot, that back foot. Slider was not a fastball, and they call it a back foot breaking ball, and that, I guess, is the literal definition of one.
Yeah.
So Cervelli getting tended to. If you take a slice in time, if you want to talk about these two outfields, and go back to 2014, and the question was, who has the best young outfield? I think at that point, you'd probably lean Marlins. Remember, Yelich won a Gold Glove, had a terrific season. Stanton was having an outstanding year until he got hit in the face in Milwaukee. Ozuna was opening a lot of eyes in center field. Now, Polanco had just arrived in the leagues for the Pirates. McCutchen was an institution coming off an MVP year. And Marte was a budding star as well in 14. Last year, you have to give it to the Pirates.
Yes.
Because Polanco really started to shine. Marte won the Gold Glove in left, and his offensive numbers were up. And McCutchen was, well, he was McCutchen. And of course, it was the Marlins who suffered through injuries last year, from Yelich's early back injury, Stanton's hamate bone, and the struggles of Ozuna to start the season. So I guess the question would be, at the end of 2016, where do they stand?
Well, I just think with health right now and production, you got to give the edge as of right now to Pittsburgh.
Although I don't think the gap is as big as many people think it is. I think a lot of people haven't taken a hard look at Marcell Ozuna's numbers. I don't know that people realize the type of year that Yelich is having. They've seen the slump of Stanton, and it's been a big one. Stanton still is in the home run leaders. The Pirate numbers, especially Marte in left, Polanco in right, and even McCutchen in center's numbers aren't that bad. His batting average is down, but in terms of home runs, slugging percentage, all of that, he's still producing and is on pace for a very, very nice year. Marte fouls it back, and it's 1-2. This guy is a guy that scouts love to talk about. We've talked about his bat speed during this series, his foot speed during this series. His on-base percentage sits at .360. So he gets on, and when he gets on, he steals bases. He's got 17 of those.
He's got such a unique batting style. He gets that foot down early, but then he does a rock after that. It's like a little rock after he gets his foot down to get his momentum going. That front knee comes in just a little bit, and he just uncoils.
Check swing. Echeverria goes to get it. Got to hurry. Does, and gets him. Bang, bang play at first, and that was close.
Well, Edge does a good job rounding this ball so he can have some momentum on the throw to get a really speedy runner in Marte. And he got him. Nice job.
Cervelli, who's moving a little better now, is in scoring position. Here's Jordy Mercer. Mercer, a fifth-year Pirate, was an infielder and the closer at Oklahoma State.
Actually had a chance to go down to Oklahoma State and do a few games a couple years ago. Matt Holliday's brother is the head coach at Oklahoma State. They got a good program they're building down there. You've seen a few kids come out of Oklahoma State in the past couple of years. But it's still football country down there. It really is. You go see the Barry Sanders car lot. Everything else down there is Oklahoma State. Cowboys football country.
As it should be. That one out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marlins and Mets, 3-game set tomorrow night. And it seems like every night's a really fun pitching matchup. Tom Kohler, Noah Syndergaard tomorrow night. Justin Nicolino, Bartolo Colon on Saturday at 4. And then Sunday at 1, Jose Fernandez, Matt Harvey.
Whoa, Chen thought he had one right there. Only wanted that one, but it was down. Get a look at it here. At the bottom of the zone, just a little low though.
Counts full. Cervelli the runner at second. And he missed low there. So a hit batter. And now a walk. And Matt Joyce is up. Joyce punctured Miami's 2-0 lead with a pinch hit 2-run single. That was in the 7th last night.
He had a really nice at bat. Mike Dunn came in, he battled him and was able to get that big base hit for the Buccos.
That's out.
Barry Bonds will join us, former Pirate, in the top of the 3rd. So we're an inning away from a chat with Miami's hitting coach. Wei-Yin Chen, uncharacteristic of him, having trouble finding the plate.
Well, this could be a case where even though he doesn't want to walk people, he's going to be very careful because even though the base is third base, that base is open and the pitcher is coming up.
That's out.
You could hear Chad Fairchild say that's out.
No, and all walks aren't bad walks. Sometimes it seems like the timing of it may be bad, but right here, I think this is a good decision by Chen to not throw pitches over the plate when you can have your chance to get the pitcher. It's still 2 outs. Yes, the bases will be loaded, but you got a pitcher hitting 150 in the on-deck circle. I'd rather attack him than Matt Joyce.
There's a strike, and it's 3-1. We'll see how he approaches him now that he's back into the at-bat.
The mentality now has got to be either you hit my pitch or you go to first base.
And Joyce did not offer. So here's the matchup that you were looking for. 5 pitches ago. And it is Nicasio against Chen.
You know, not everybody's a Clayton Kershaw that has the stuff, the movement, the velocity, the type of curveball to pitch and get all those strikeouts with very few walks. Sometimes pitchers need to walk guys, and the situation will dictate that.
And not every pitcher at the plate is a Madison Bumgarner, who homered again today for the Giants in Atlanta. There's strike one. Bumgarner now has 13 career home runs. That leads all active pitchers. Oh, one pitch. Right center, Ichiro dives and got it! Ichiro in right center. That saved 2, maybe 3 runs.
Wow. Ranging, catching, still a superstar, Ichiro.
In Major League Baseball, and that's a good thing on this AT&T high-speed replay. Good break, great grab. When you slow it down, watch the glove and the wrist of Ichiro. Ooh. And he stuck the dismount. That is just a terrific, terrific play. And it comes at the highest of stakes. 2 outs, bags loaded, so the runners are off on contact. And if he doesn't come up with that, 2 for sure, and possibly 3 will score. So Nicasio nearly gave himself the lead. Instead, now he faces JT Realmuto, Danny Echeverria, and Miguel Rojas in a scoreless ball game.
Ah! 12 is a unique number for a pitcher. I'm trying to think, not many pitchers. Ron Darling maybe wore 12, I believe. We got to check that out. We got to see how many pitchers have worn that number.
Well, the state of Pennsylvania has produced a lot of quarterbacks that wore that number. But you're right, not many starting pitchers you see in a number that low. Realmuto, it's in the hole. He's got speed, and he's out by less than a step. Nice play by Jordy Mercer, who's a very good defensive shortstop. Bring your group to Marlins Park and enjoy a personalized experience. Quality time with your guests or family and guests at an affordable cost. Birthdays, networking. Call the Marlins Group sales team at 1-877-MARLINS. Go to marlins.com/groups today. Here's Echeverria. Sends it to right field. That's into the corner. And it's a fair ball. Echeverria steaming towards second, thinking 3, on his way to third. And he will get there. High throw. Bounces wildly, but stays in play.
Tell you what, there were 2 really good plays here. First is by Juan Nicasio backing this up. After we take a look at the swing, see how he's down on that ball. Great body position. Now watch him going on this. The right fielder's down in the corner trying to dig that thing out. And I have to give credit to the pitcher and the third base coach, Lenny Harris, for both being alert right here. Great swing. Tell you what, that base hit last night might have gotten Rear going again. Motoring all the way. Gets out to third. Lenny's in the pitcher. Watch him. Say, stay right there, stay right there. But also in the pitcher is Juan Nicasio, the pitcher who gave up that hit ranging all the way over there to back up that play.
Infield in, here is Rojas. And Nicasio misses in. Chen is on deck. This is a big at bat in the sequence, because if Nicasio can get Rojas without Echeverria budging from third, then he can go after Chen and try to end the inning. 1 out, infield in. Squeezes on, and it's perfect. 1-0 Miami. Well executed. Rojas got it down. Echeverria broke just late enough not to give it away.
Oh, I mentioned the squeeze a couple days ago, and look at this. It shows up. Perfectly executed. Great jump on the pitch by Echeverria. Great execution, concentration by Rojas. Getting the bunt down. Very well done. Nice job, Don Mattingly, for putting it on. Nice job by the players for executing.
So a 1-0 start. So Echeverria last night had the big hit to finish the game, the RBI double, and his triple tonight helps open the scoring. And a 1-0 start. Chen still looking for that elusive first major league hit. And he fouls that one off, and Chen is hitting right-handed. Last few days he's been experimenting with this in batting practice. Don't think it was Barry Bonds that suggested it, but there's a chopper. Freeze gets the out. When we get back, Barry Bonds joins us. And we got to ask him about Adeiny Echeverria. How about that? A triple and a squeeze. 1-0 Miami. Wilson, we're joined now by the Marlins hitting coach, Barry Bonds. Let's start with Adeiny Echeverria. Big double last night to win a game and a triple. What have you seen? What do you like?
Well, I like what he's doing in the batting cage right now. We've made some mechanical changes with him a little bit, and let him get to the ball a little bit, not fall back and open up his shoulder too much. And he's been working on that for about the last 3 or 4 days, and his swing's starting to come around.
Last night he had an at-bat with bases loaded. May have been a little over-anxious. The last at-bat he was able to drive in a big run. What's the conversation like in between those two at-bats?
Well, the one thing with the young hitters, though, you gotta calm them down. They all want to, they get a little bit nervous with one strike sometimes and just feel like they're in a hole. And I gotta keep reiterating to them that that pitcher's not mechanical. He can make a mistake. Look in your zone and be ready for your zone. If you allow somebody to throw something away and then you're going to dive to it, you're going to block yourself into something else. So you guys really got to focus and not really understand that the fact that this guy's a mechanical and he can't make all 3 perfect pitches, you'll get one to hit.
Barry, one of the questions we get around town over the last 3 weeks especially is what's up with Giancarlo Stanton? Now, he was out with an injury. He's come back. What do you see with Stanton right now, and where are you trying to go with him?
Well, right now, he had the Right now, he's had that oblique problem. He's been opening his front leg a little bit. We can see that he's bailing just a little bit. He's flying open. So right now, he's starting to work on keeping his front shoulder in there. But like I sit there and say, everything takes a little bit of time. And, I told him, if you, keep your shoulder in, that's the same thing he said to me. I need to keep my front shoulder in there. And then actually the mechanics will straighten out itself. Your swing will automatically straighten out itself once you're going to the ball the right way.
Hey, the guy over your right shoulder, is there any way to, he's...
Man, it's like my child, man. Much like my kid. We both Leos, so it's good. We're both Leos, so we growl at each other all the time.
Can you help him hit?
Oh, man, let me put it this way. With Jose, if he was hitting on everyday basis, he'd be one of our best hitters. And if he played in outfield, he'd be one of our top outfielders. That boy's an all-around athlete, and I love him.
Hey, I asked Marcell Ozuna the other day what was the most important thing you had taught to him. That ball is a foul ball. And he said one word. He said patience.
Yeah.
What's for Ozuna? You guys seem to, in spring training, really bond, and it's been a really nice relationship.
Well, it's like this. Some people want it, and Jose wanted with me. He wants to be around me, and he trusts me. And like I told him, you can't do it all at one time. You can't do it in one swing, and you're not going to save this team. We all got to do it together. You have to do your job, and you got to allow the man to do his job behind you. And if you're going to go out and give up at-bats, then you're going to dig a hole, and that's not going to be a good job for you. You're a better hitter than that, and I believe in him, and he believes in himself now.
Well, Barry, both of us, you and I, come from baseball families. How did your relationship with your dad, him being a hitting coach, help prepare you for this role working with these guys?
Well, my dad was a very tough person, and he expect, the best out of you and stuff, and he worked to death, and I understood that, and my dad had great eyes. My dad was really good with picking up pitchers, really good at seeing your flaws as a hitter, and I realized that, and I never left my wingman.
Barry, thank you for your time, and we appreciate you coming on, and a nice job with the hitter, especially that shortstop who's really swinging it well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
All right, Barry Bonds, Marlins hitting coach, as the Fish have a 1-0 lead here, and Wei-Yin Chen has the first 2 outs of the 3rd inning. David Freese pokes one foul. Couple of fly ball outs from Harrison and McCutchen. Freese a strikeout victim back in the 1st. Throughout all of sports, you can pinpoint momentum in shifts. Baseball, it's tough to do sometimes. It's tough to generate momentum and swing things around. But that Ichiro catch really seemed to do it, because Echeverria comes up, triples, and instead of the Pirates being up 3-0, it's the Marlins who are up 1-0. Ichiro is looking at that left hand.
Well, defense is, baseball is hard because the defense controls the ball. That's why momentum shifts are not as easily recognized in baseball. So your momentum is really predicated upon the guy that's on the mound. Good pitching beats good hitting. If you're making a good pitch, it's going to be hard to do a good job offensively with it. So the momentum shift really depends on how that guy on the mound is working and how effective he is.
That's wide of 3rd. No Chen so far in 2 2/3. A couple walks, a hit batter, and a strikeout. Rojas on to first in time, and a 1-2-3 third for Wei-Yin Chen. 1-0 Miami on top.
Starting tonight, but he's still in a Marlins uniform, and he's not on the disabled list. He told me he dodged yet another bullet last night.
My hand went numb immediately, so that was the only thing that kind of freaked me out a little bit. And we got it checked out immediately, and got treatment on it immediately, and yeah, it feels better, encouraging today. So just keep treating it, and can manage the pain and play through it, and get back out there as soon as possible.
Did you get the bone bruise news last night, shortly after? And how was it a relief? Because did you think you broke it?
I wasn't sure. X-rays were the first thing we got. So once the doctors took a look at those and didn't see any fracture or anything, just knew it was definitely a bruise and definitely gonna have some soreness.
And Dietrich is happy that the news was great, the bone bruise, and also found some solace in the fact that his run, wound up being the game-winning run last night. Rich?
Great. And I think a lot of people were relieved when they heard that news that Derek Dietrich, who has filled in so well in the absence of D. Gordon, has been terrific offensively, solid defensively. And let's hope that wrist takes to the treatment in the next few days. He's back and ready to go. Ichiro pops that one foul. The other wrist that you and I have been watching for the last inning and a half, Preston, has been Ichiro's left wrist. Ichiro was flexing it in the outfield. And remember that incredible catch he made that saved maybe 3 runs? That wrist on review bent back awkwardly. Little pop-up. That's going to get in for a base hit. And Ichiro flips one to left. That's a leadoff single here in the third. Get the counter going. Now it's 64. And he passes Sam Crawford.
Very nicely placed. Just works, keeps working, fights off the pitch. Kind of a sandwich little lob out there over the shortstop's head. Checks up in front of the left fielder. Nicely on the green, Rich.
I don't know if Ichiro golfs or not. I'll have to ask him that.
If he does, he's probably really good at it.
Yeah. He probably is running off the tee box before the ball even gets to the fairway.
I would love to see him golf swing.
Ichiro back. I think a lot of people would love to see him steal a bag. The Marlins haven't stolen a base in a good long while. It's been 19 games for the Marlins since they stole a base. And they've only attempted 2 in that time. You have the ingredients here with a guy like Prado to hit and run with Ichiro's speed. Ichiro, long look across at Lenny Harris. And a strike to Prado.
Good. Prado looked nice and fresh yesterday after that day off. You could tell he needed it, and they responded. Had a really nice ball game yesterday.
Francisco Cervelli is throwing out 38% of base stealers, which is above Major League average. Prado in the air, right center, shallow, and Joyce calls off Harrison and makes the catch. Be interested to see how the Pirates shift Yelich now. Christian Yelich with the most extreme shift we've seen against him this year. Poked a ball to left on the ground. Ichiro's presence at first, that affects it a little bit. Mercer's back over on the third base side. And Gung well off the line at third. As you and I said, having watched Yelich's at bats this year, we don't remember any team with an extreme shift against him.
Well, Gung seems to have given up a little bit of that position that he was towards the shortstop here. He looks a little bit closer to third base this time.
Yelich, a liner into right field. That's a hit. Up with it quickly is Joyce. That one left the bat at a very rapid pace.
Yeah, it did. See Yelich here, that nice easy swing. Ball jumps off the bat. Look at his head. Head just stays buried on that until the ball leaves the bat. There's some guys that just do that so well. Some guys peak right before the ball leaves the bat, but some of those guys, you watch them, and you can tell how much work they put into just keeping that head there. One of the guys that used to do it so great was Fred McGriff. He'd hit in his head, the swing would be totally complete, and his head would still be down at the home plate area.
108 miles an hour off the bat. That line drive for Yelich, and here is Stanton, who walked in the first.
And that really is just a simple issue of ego. You get a good swing and you want to see where the ball is before you complete your swing. And that's just your mind wanting to see what good you've already done before you complete that swing.
All right, what did you pick up from Barry Bonds talking about Stanton when he answered that question?
Well, I think he's absolutely right. I think he's seeing that.
Stanton in right field, that's a hit. Ichiro around third, he's going to score. Yelich on his way to third. Stanton's got an RBI double. You were saying?
This is what you're talking about. We talk about keeping your front side closed so that you're not spinning off the ball. Watch how his front side stayed on that. The swing takes the front side out, not the front side pulls the swing through. And when you do that, you can hit the ball the other way on a line with some authority. And we hadn't seen Stanton do that. That's something that he does really well when he's going good. That power to the opposite field. And that is the thing that's going to get him back on track there. Keep that front side there as long as possible. Let the swing note open it up, not the other way around. And you're going to start getting some really good results.
Francisco Cervelli, I think, is going to come out of this ball game. Cervelli, remember, got hit in the foot on the pitch from Wei-Yin Chen. And so the Pirates are going to make a change.
Nobody likes to, see a player get hurt. This is just one of those that he didn't quite get his foot out of the way. Sometimes as a hitter, that ball never hits you. And if it does hit you, it's a glancing blow. Unfortunately, this one really squares Francisco Cervelli up right on, looks like the top of the foot, semi-instep area. And, he was in a pain. He was in a lot of pain. You can see it when it happened. He gutted it out this far, trying to fight through it. Unfortunately, after a while, after that adrenaline settles down, then you start to feel it.
Chris Stewart, veteran catcher, is going to come off the bench. And Stewart is ready to go, so it's a Justin Bour at bat, and it's a big one here. Giancarlo Stanton, RBI double. 3 hits in the inning, started by Ichiro's single. And now Bour, who bounced to short back in the first. They're going to walk Bour and pitch to Real Muto. Interesting. Hurdle, hoping that Nicasio can get a ground ball from Miami's catcher. Real Muto bounced to short his first time up.
Nicasio features a really good hard two-seamer. They're hoping he can run one in under the hands of Real Muto or get him to beat one into the ground. There's a force play everywhere, so I think they're trying to figure out a way to minimize the damage in this inning by walking Bour.
I will say this about Stanton's hit, Preston. You're almost more encouraged by seeing him hit a line drive down the right field line than pulling a home run. I mean, I know the home run is going to knock in 3, but in terms of long-term progress, to see Stanton stay on the ball like that and drive it to right is a sight we haven't seen in a long time.
Most power hitters, especially right-handed power hitters, will tell you when they're driving the ball to right field with authority, they feel like there's no way they can be beat. When I felt like when I was hitting the ball hard the other way, I felt like I didn't have to hit it well to pull it out of the ballpark because I was strong enough and Stanton is strong enough to get jammed a little bit and hit it out of the ballpark to the pull side. But when you're squaring it up on the barrel to right field in that right center gap and you're hitting it with a lot of velocity and a lot of authority, you feel like you have the whole plate covered, your timing is good, and there's no way they can go. You end up getting yourself out at that point. They don't get you out.
Bags loaded. 1 out. And it's Real Muto. And Real Muto in the air to center. Pretty well hit. McCutchen circles. Ichiro, Yelich tags rather, and he'll score. Stanton to third. Nicely done. Boy, the Marlins have a squeeze bunt for a run and now a sacrifice fly for a bunt. There was no two-seamer ground ball. Real Muto made sure of that.
And a great job by Real Muto handling that at bat, getting something he can hit in the air, staying in the big part of the field where it's a longer throw if he hits it in the air, and good job by Stanton, realizing that the center field is ranging, going away from third base and has to make that throw back to get him. He ends up at third. He's a wild pitch away now, and even Justin Bour did a good bluff at first, saw the throw, realized there's nobody covering, got back safely. Really good base running, I noticed, the whole way around for the Marlins offense just now.
Now Echeverria, his last 2 at bats, a double and a triple. Fights off a fastball. It's 0-1. His triple down the right field line was well hit. Of course, his double last night cracked in the gap in left center. Got to the wall in a hurry and knocked home Miguel Rojas, who was running for Dietrich, who obviously got hit by that pitch in his wrist. Echeverria floats that one down the line, and it's foul. It's 0-2. Bohr at first, Stanton at third. Nicasio, 0-2 coming. Stewart just in the game. Snares it. Stewart, in his 10th major league season, has been with a lot of different teams. Taken outside. Echeverria in the 7th spot tonight, with Miguel Rojas hitting 8. And it was he and Rojas that teamed up on the squeeze bunt in the 2nd. It came after the triple, not the first pitch after the triple, the 2nd pitch. Two. Pirates rotation with Nicasio in it. Francisco Liriano, the lone starter the Marlins did not see. He opens the Angels series in Pittsburgh tomorrow night. To right, it's well hit. Joyce gets it. Wow. Came in and then back and then spun to make the catch. The Marlins add 2, including an RBI double from Shankar North. Big series starts tomorrow night. It's the Mets, it's the Marlins, and it's at 7:10. You can pick up the Budweiser burger and beer package for just $25. Get a bullpen reserve ticket, specialty burger, and a 16-ounce beer. Fireworks. Yep, that's right. Fireworks after the game. Marlins.com for more information. Tom Kohler, Noah Syndergaard open up the 3-game set with the Mets. Wei-Yin Chen. Jung-Ho Kang. And a strike. Kang, the Korean infielder, at third base. He lined one into the gap in left center, and that was a nice running catch by Ichiro. 2. And a near collision with a quickly closing Christian Yelich. And of course, Ichiro would end that inning with that sliding catch with the bags loaded and 2 outs in the right center, saving 2, probably 3 runs. That's a big play right now with Miami up 3-0.
See Ichiro still flexing and feeling that wrist hand area there.
Well, Ichiro in his long career has been on the disabled list only once. And that wasn't for an injury, it was for an ulcer. Three-two coming. And Kang fouls it back. I think a lot of people were surprised at how well Gung hit last year. The first to jump from the Korean Professional League right into Major League Baseball. Hits that one a ton. Ichiro goes back at the track, at the wall. Got it! Oh my goodness! Turn back the clock. 10 gold gloves showing off tonight.
If you want to feel bad about your age, and I do because I'm 41 and he's 42, and look at him out there making plays like this. This guy is unbelievable. The way he takes care of his body, the way he works at his craft. Look at that, finding the wall, getting comfortable with it, making the play. And Jung-Ho Gung has got to be just disconsolate right now because he absolutely crushed that ball. Ain't got nothing to show for it, except maybe having a highlight showing Ichiro catch it tonight.
Justin Bour's reaction. That liner down the right field line is going to find foul territory off the bat of Chris Stewart. Yeah, Gung hit the ball in left center that Ichiro ran down. That one, about a 408-foot shot. Now, remember, the fence has come in from last year. That ball last year obviously is not to the wall. May have hopped off the wall or hit the bottom of it. Stewart, a couple years with the Yankees, Giants, Padres, Rangers, White Sox. That would be strike three. Chen, good sharp breaking ball, and Stewart on his way back to the dugout. Greater coverage of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Preston Wilson, what we got? Oh, Mookie. 2 more homers versus the Orioles. King Felix on the disabled list. Hunter Pence also on the disabled list.
Pence's hamstring looked like it's a really bad one. When it's down low near the knee like that, that's when they're rough, and that's where that was, down low hamstring strain. Even that might be a while for him.
Marte swings and misses a changeup. So Mookie Betts has what, 5 homers in 2 games?
Yes.
Mookie Betts tonight in Baltimore. Red Sox and Orioles.
I hate to tell Dad, but that's probably going to be a record for a guy named Mookie hitting home runs in consecutive games. I don't think he's got a chance anymore.
We went over that last night, didn't we? Betts is 0 for 2 tonight. And no, it was not Mookie Wilson he was named after, Preston's father. It was Mookie Blaylock. How about Wei-Yin Chen tonight? Chen is retired now, 7 straights. Ichiro to his right, to his left, and straight back. He has been marvelous for the club tonight. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. By Checkers Fast Foodies, know the deal. And by your South Florida Chevy dealers. Downtown Miami is all lit up. And the Marlins have a 3-0 lead. Thanks to some balanced offense and some great defense in center by Ichiro. Miguel Rojas, Wei-Yin Chen, and then Ichiro here in the 4th against Juan Nicasio. Rojas, squeeze bunt. That came back in the 2nd, knocked home Adeiny Echeverria. Remember, Rojas a couple days ago came out of a ball game after a hit. You could see him flex that right arm. He had a shoulder issue with Dietrich down for what you would expect would be at least a couple days. Rojas's importance grows. Freeze makes the catch. Big weekend starts with Marlins Live, brought to you by your South Florida Honda dealers, Craig Minervini, Jeff Conine. Of course, we'll chat with Don Mattingly. And when that is all said and done, Tom Kohler will throw out the first pitch. Noah Syndergaard goes for the Mets. Mets and Marlins, first time for the Fish against the Mets here this year. There's a ground ball, first base, diving, stop, freeze. Oh, come on. Wei-Yin Chen, who is hitting right-handed for the first time tonight, looking for his first major league hit, almost had it here.
Wow, that's just unfair. Man's got to get, if you're going to get your first big league hit, it's got to be right there. But you know what? You are in the big leagues, and that's a big league defender playing first base. David Freese has played third. He's got that range. Oh.
Watch Chen's eyes.
Oh, he's smelling it. Oh, no! So close.
Ichiro up now, a 1 pitch. Flips that one foul.
I think he looks better right-handed than he does left-handed.
He does. I would agree. Ichiro bounced out in the first, singled and scored in the third.
Put it like this, he looks much closer to his first major league hit now than I can say I ever thought so.
Look out. Fastball up. Ichiro got a piece of it. There's your box score. Yelich 2 for 2, and Stanton's hit was an RBI double, a line drive down the right field line. Ichiro, a line drive left center field. That's a hit. Round first he goes. That's a double.
Oh, I hear those hit counters clicking. I hear them. A little slider that doesn't quite get down. Ichiro stays on it, shoots it in the opposite gap. Nobody's there. Ichiro's running. And the Marlins have another runner in scoring position tonight.
Time to get a new shirt out of the box.
Rich, that shirt looks a little bit like my scorecard.
2 for 3 is Ichiro. With a double here in the fourth. Now Prado fouls it back. For Ichiro, his 6th double. And he's now 4 for 9 in this series. All alone at 31st. Oh, Jim Joyce says a swing.
Ooh.
Way off the line at first is David Freese. Prado really good at shooting a ball down that first base line. Stewart knocks it down.
Prado's been known to slide that back foot up, get some little extension, and shoot it down out there the other way.
Now the 1-2. And that's a swing, says home plate umpire Chad Fairchild. So Ichiro left at second. Miami after 4, up 3-0.
The top of the 5th inning, he is now in 31st place all-time for most hits by a Major League Baseball player at 2965. He passed tonight Sam Crawford, the man who was born in 1880 and lived to the age of 88. They called him Wahoo Sam. He went to Wahoo High School. He was a star athlete in Nebraska, Hall of Famer in 1957. A couple things about Mr. Crawford. Major League records for triples still holds up, 309. How about this? He had 12 inside the Parkers in a season. That is a Major League record. And he's also the first player to lead both the American and National League in home runs way back in the early 1900s. One guy said of him, he stands up at the plate like a brick house. It's all the pitchers without playing favorites. Guys,
that's pretty cool. Wahoo Sam, Wahoo, Nebraska. Joined a traveling baseball team in Wahoo. Went from town to town, and that's how he was discovered. Out in center field, Ichiro settles into this one. No diving, no darting, no leaping. Just a nice catch.
You know, guys, very interesting, way ahead of his time. At the end of the 1902 season, a bidding war occurred between the National League and the American League for Sam Crawford's services. He signed contracts with both the Reds and the Tigers. It would have to go to a judge who decided the Tigers would get him, but the judge required a $3,000 compensation to be given to Cincinnati. Later, Crawford became the college head coach at USC in the 1920s. And up next for Ichiro, Sam Rice at 29.87, spot number 30. He's 22 back.
Ah, very nice. 3-0 Miami on top, top 5 if you're just happening by and you're wondering about all the Ichiro chatter. 2 hits tonight, single and a double. 3 very nice catches. Well, I guess you could qualify them better than very nice. The one in left field, the running catch, was a nice catch. The one in right center was outstanding and very important in the score right now. The bags were loaded. There were 2 outs. It was Nicasio, the pitcher, who lined one sinking into right center. Ichiro sliding, had that left wrist bend underneath, but he kept the ball in his glove for the out, and that ended the inning. Matt Joyce pulls it foul. And the last one was the bolt to center off the bat of Kung. Ichiro straight back, got to the wall, made a leaping catch up against the wall.
Well, if you're a young player, this is a type of game that you can get scouted on. They know you can come in on the ball, they know you can go laterally in the gaps, and they know you can go back on the ball.
Ichiro said, "Hey, it's my night. Get out of the way. I'm not catching everything tonight." Geico. MLB moment. Remember Garrett Jones, G.I. Jones? This one got in the drink into the Allegheny. First Pirate to hit it there at PNC Park back in 2013. Here's Juan Nicasio. We said last night that Pittsburgh, the Marlins' trip to Pittsburgh, is part of the fantasy auction, which is coming up. Maybe we should include a kayak ride during the game out in the Allegheny.
I'm not getting in that water, Rich. I'll tell you that right now. You can go out there if you want. I'll hold down the fort wherever I am. I'm not getting in that water.
Here's the 0-2. And Nicasio swings and misses. How about Wei-Yin Chen tonight? 10 straight retired. Yelich, Stanton, Bohr. 3-0 Miami. The tricky triangle at Pocono, where Martin Truex Jr. looks to defend his title from last year. It all begins Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, only on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Preston, are you more Magic Man or El Diablo?
I think I'd be more of the Magic Man. You know, I do like the whole shake and bake thing, but got to go with Magic Man. Yeah.
Look at the bobbleheads bobbling away.
I wonder if Ricky Bobby's going to make an appearance here, Rich. You think he'll show up?
No.
Just remember, Rich, if you're not first, you're last.
All right. I apologize because I opened that door. Just a crack, though.
Hey.
Just a crack.
You know me by now. Don't get me started.
Here is Christian Yelich. It's bottom 5. Yelich, 2 hits. The extreme shift is back on. So our answer is this. The runner at first did affect Mercer's spot. Mercer is now over on the first base side, and off the line is Freeze. The Pirates are saying Yelich isn't going to pull the ball down that line. He's going to hit it in that triangle. Not the aforementioned tricky triangle, but that triangle of Pirates.
Well, they're putting a lot of trust in Nicasio because Yelich is a guy who hits the ball where it's pitched. So Nicasio is going to have to hit his spots in order for him to hit, for Yelich to hit the ball into the teeth of this defense.
Well, the shift worked. So shift 1, Yelich 2. David Freese with a leaping catch there. And here is Stanton. Walked in the first, lined a double down the right field line in the third. The mask is back on against a right-hander. As we noted earlier, at the very basement of that deep valley that he was in, he removed the mask against righties. Wearing it ever since he was hit in 14.
Well, you know, and I think the thought process is just try to get it out of your head for a little while. You know, and another thing is you don't want to keep reminding these pitchers that that's what happened to you, because they will. There's some guys, they got a nasty enough disposition. They'll throw in there just to see if you're flinching on the ball that's inside about chest high. They want to see a reaction if they can get you sped up to start pulling off the ball because you're worried about it.
1-2. Fastball up. And it's 2-2. Checks his swing. The question is, did that irritate that side, that right side?
I didn't see any wince or any movement there, so I think it was okay. You know, usually if that's going to happen, it happens right away. Like right as the bat starts coming down, that's when that kicks in.
Swing and a miss, and a sweeping slider.
That's a nasty pitch. That's 87, so it's got some guy's fastball velocity, and it's breaking that hard and that sharply down.
Justin Bour now, he's bounced to short, was intentionally walked. And a strike. Marlins got a run in the second on the squeeze bunt. Miguel Rojas bunting. Denny Echeverria, who tripled, was coming in from third. And then added 2 in the third. Ichiro and Christian Yelich with hits. Giancarlo Stanton RBI double. And JT Realmuto with a sacrifice fly. 2. Outside corner. Pirates infield shifted around towards first for Bour.
Oh, Nicasio sliders is really hard. It's down. It's nasty. If you're a hitter, you want to get to him before he starts working on that thing, because the fastball at times can be hittable. That slider, you don't have nothing to do with that.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Phillies are at home against Milwaukee tonight, trailing 2-1 in the 6th. Down goes Bour, swinging over a slider. So Nicasio has a nice 5th. On to the 6th, 3-0 Miami. About starting pitching in our Toyota Inside Look. Game 1, it was Justin Nicolino, pitched well, but the Marlins would lose that game. Then Jose Fernandez, Adam Conley, Wei-Yin, Chen. Chen 5 innings through. This is as far as he got in his last start against the Braves. But in this start, lefty's gone twice through the line. He's got 3 strikeouts, a couple of walks, and a hit batter. Top of the order, Josh Harrison, Andrew McCutchen, David Freese against the 30-year-old Chen. Harrison's put the ball in the air twice, to right and to center. That changeup has been a good pitch for him tonight. Always a strike thrower. Always with supreme command. So much so that Juan, his pitching coach, 4 starts ago, asked him to have a little less command. To right, Stanton is there and he makes the catch. A little more stuff and a little less command was the ask, and he's been able to make that adjustment. Mikey Lowell, ladies and gentlemen. You know him, you love him, you want that bobblehead, you need that bobblehead. And so Saturday at 4:10, Marlins and Mets. First 10,000 get a Mike Lowell bobblehead, part of the All-Star Bobblehead Series. Marlins.com.
I played with some good third basemen, but I got to tell you, me up in the best third baseman I played with. Defensively, just such good reactions, always made good throws, and what a quick bat. You could not pitch him in enough. One of the best baseball players and a good person as well.
Perry Hill, that's one of the guys. If Perry Hill had a resume, and I don't know that he actually has a real physical resume, but Mike Lowell's name would be on there because he would list all the Gold Glove winners on his resume.
I believe Mike Lowell was the first Marlin to make 3 consecutive All-Star appearances as well.
Mike, of course, would win 2 world championships, one with the Marlins, one with the Red Sox. McCutchen, who has a lot of gold himself. He's won 4 Gold Gloves. That one fouled back. Count full, 3-2. The All-Star Bobblehead Series, I believe there's 13 of them this year. And that will be one of the auction items on the mini board this year. All 13. That's a liner, and that's right to Echeverria. And so there are 2 outs. Yeah, all 13 of the All-Star bobbleheads will be one of the prizes at the fantasy auction. You want to open up Mikey Lowell and see what he looks like.
I feel like you're asking me. I think this was mine, and you want me to open it up. I want it in mint condition, Rich.
I think he's like this. I think he's ready to field the ground ball.
You're right. He is. There's Mikey.
Let him breathe. Let the poor man breathe.
Oh yeah, was it find it, field it, funnel it? There's a whole bunch of F's that
the 6 F's,
and they're good F's actually, not the bad ones. They're good F's that Bone uses.
As a special added bonus, 5 of these 10,000 bobbleheads will also perform the hidden ball trick, which Mike Lowell's very good at. I believe he pulled it off twice as a Marlin.
They actually got Mikey's goatee right to flip glasses. So you got the flip ups in there under there. Oh, Mickey Love. Oh, I'm putting him back.
Nobody puts Mikey back in the bag. Here's 1-2. Wei-Yin Chen. How about Wei-Yin Chen tonight? He said for the 5th time. 6 no-hit innings for Chen. And a 3-0 Miami lead. Is the presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. Thing of beauty tonight, the efforts of 30-year-old Wei-Yin Chen. And the Marlins have a 3-0 lead. Chen has gone 6 innings. He's walked 2, struck out 5. The Pirates without a hit. Chen has never, in his major league career, had a complete game. And this is start number 128. The 5th year in the big leagues for Chen. Now Sean Rodriguez is in the ball game. He's in left. The Pirates have already lost Francisco Cervelli. He was hit in the foot by a pitch. This is JT Realmuto against Juan Nicasio. Realmuto, big sacrifice fly in the 3rd. Echeverria and Rojas will follow. And that one is wide of 3rd. We'll try to get you some sort of word as if to clarify or shed some light on Starling Marte moving over to center and Andrew McCutchen's absence. Marte in center, McCutchen out. Realmuto fouls it back. Juan Nicasio has not been that bad as well at 5 innings. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Marlins have 6 hits and 3 runs. Miami doing a lot of little things right tonight offensively. The squeeze bunt, obviously, the sac fly. Stanton going opposite field for an RBI double. Count 2-2. Miami 3 games over at 28-25 with the Mets coming to town. And Realmuto walks. And we check in with Craig Minervini. Craig.
Hey, Rich, thank you very much. One thing Frank Manichino, the hitting coach, likes to see from Adeiny Echeverria is him driving the ball the other way. He did that quite a bit last year. He picked apart right center field. Has not done as much this year, but he's been on fire, as you see, and he took it the other way and with that big triple earlier in the ball game. Since May 15th, no National League shortstop has hit better than Echeverria. He's 22 points higher. That was coming in at tonight than Jonathan Villar. Nobody is even over 300 among NL shortstops. And when he is hitting, guys, the Marlins lineup is lengthened because he can drive the ball and knock in runs along with getting on base.
Well, you're right, Craig. They'd love to get him back where he was last year. His average up in the 280s. Nicasio a long wait. Realmuto's not budging, and Echeverria calls timeout. Outfield swung towards right center with Marte well into right. Pirates center fielder. Etch squares and takes outside. Not sure that Echeverria would be bunting here. You've got Rojas behind him and then Chen. And I don't know that the Marlins are going to lift Chen and send him anywhere. He's sitting at 90 pitches.
Yeah, hopefully that was just him showing bunt. You know, just as a player, the more you grow, you have to increase your situational awareness. And even though there's a man on first with nobody out, in the first couple innings that may be fine, but right now you putting yourself in a situation where you're opening up to the other team the ability to walk guys behind you that can swing the bat, and you force your manager into a position where he may be forced to take a pitcher out that he doesn't want to, simply because you're in such a good position offensively to score runs.
You saw Rob Scahill in Pittsburgh's pen. That's a strike inside the part. And it's 2-1. Echeverria last night in the leadoff spot for the first time this season. A little wrinkle on that one from Nicasio, and he gets a strike. It's 2-2.
Well, you see this last pitch, this breaking ball, it's been so good for Nicasio. That breaking ball has been fooling hitters. He ended up walking Real Mucho on a 3-2 pitch, but it's been nasty. His slider in the last 3 innings.
That one wasn't the sharp breaker, just a little late life. 2-2. In the dirt.
Yeah, the one before that was the get me over version, the strike version. That one was the put away version.
All right, Preston, with Rojas on deck, Echeverria's strikeout rate has improved this year. Has it improved enough to start Real Muto from first?
The way Nicasio's pitching is tough. He's thrown a lot of 3-2 sliders, struck out Stanton on one, threw one to Real Muto, walked him. So if a guy's going to be more around the plate, I would say yes. But right now, this is a tough call because this guy's throwing a lot of 3-2 sliders.
Not running. And it's fouled at the plate.
And there's your 3-2 slider. You know, it's the pitcher dictates a lot of times what the manager feels comfortable doing because of his pattern and his rhythm. It's hard to put a guy that, you know, and Echeverria's not a great breaking ball hitter. He's a good player. Everybody can't hit the breaking ball. He's not a great breaking ball hitter, so it's hard to put him in that situation. You know, to have runners going and you get to strike him out, throw him out.
Real Muto has stolen a couple bases this year. Does not have a big lead. And he's running. Echeverria fouls it out of play. Well, you said something during the break, talking about putting the game in motion. The Marlins have squeezed tonight successfully. They just started Real Muto. And for you, your observation was that for Don Mattingly, it takes more than just spring training to learn your players.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys that do things in spring training, but when you actually get to the season, that's when your manager starts to learn what his players are capable of and who he can trust to put what signs on.
Running again. Echeverria to right. Pretty well hit. Joyce is back there, and he makes the catch. And retreating to first is Real Muto. If you are a baseball fan, you need the all-new Fox Sports app. Get highlights, interviews, injury updates, scores, and instant alerts on your favorite teams and rivals. Download it now on the App Store, Google Play, or visit foxsports.com/app. Now Rojas. A successful squeeze bunt and a pop-up on the night. Wei-Yin Chen is on deck. And that one almost hung David Freese out. The Mets not in action today or tonight. So I would expect comfortably in their hotel room here in Miami, or rooms plural, that would be uncomfortable.
Quite.
Miami trying to win a 4-game series. When you win a 4-game series, that's one, it's not easy to do in the big leagues. 2, it's a way to make up some nice ground. This is the third 4-game series for the Marlins this year. They split against Washington 2-2. And they swept at Los Angeles, winning all 4. So National League East standings. Washington not in action either. The Phillies are, and the Phillies are losing 2-1 to Milwaukee. And the shine is starting to come off a little bit on the Phillies. A game under. Rojas trying to shoot it right side. It's 0-2. This is the very first mention of the wild card in the National League. But this illustrates that a game like this has ramifications into September. Out to center. That's Marte out there now, and he makes the catch. Everybody focuses, and rightfully so, on the division races. But when you play the Pirates, or you play the Dodgers, or those teams play the Mets or the Nationals or the Marlins, or anybody that has their sights set on the postseason, that can affect who ends up with one of those 2 tickets for the wild card.
Well, if there's a team that's hoping to not be in that playoff game this year, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yes, they want to avoid that. They've been in it 3 consecutive years. The last 2, they didn't escape that wild card game. Of course, a lot of it had to do with the starting pitchers they ran into. Jake Arrieta and Madison Bumgarner. They did win in 13. They beat the Reds, but then lost in the division series to the Cardinals. Wei-Yin Chen is still looking for his first major league hit. In fact, he's gone to the extreme of hitting from the other side of the plate. So now he's hitting right-handed tonight for the first time in his career. And he almost had a hit his last time up.
This is fun to watch.
He's 0 for 27.
Not that part.
And Chen, I tell you what though, 3 ABs, 3 ground balls to the right side. It's coming, Preston.
He's on the way.
It's coming. 6 no-hit innings. Out for the 7th after this. Chance to win a 4-game series tonight for Miami. And so far, for the Fish, so good. Wei-Yin Chen carries a no-hitter into the 7th. 90 pitches in, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He never, in 127 previous starts, has completed a start in the major leagues. 8 innings is as far as he's been able to get. He's had some terrific defense behind him, especially in center field with Ichiro. And the Pirates have barreled up plenty of baseballs. On Sunday, Marlins and Mets and Bark at the Park. Presented by Avoderm Natural Pet Foods, Nylabone and PetSmart. Kids get a pair of Giancarlo Stanton batting gloves courtesy of Aquafina and can run the bases in the Diamond Dash. Yeah, I don't think any cats will be here.
That'd be one brave cat to show up at Bark at the Park, wouldn't it?
At least there were no horses in the soundtrack, which
this time
I thought I heard that the other day. Jung Ho Kang, Francisco Cervelli's spot. Remember, that's Chris Stewart. Chen misses down low. And then Marte. The Pirates have lost a pair of starters in this ballgame. Andrew McCutchen came out. Cervelli came out. We know Cervelli got hit in the foot. McCutchen, there's been no word on from the clubhouse. And as I say that, we received the missive right thumb discomfort for McCutchen. We know Cervelli, it's because of his right foot, but McCutchen has a right thumb issue. And there's the first hit into left field. Yelich gets by it, not stopping his gung, and he's in there with what could be a double. Should be a double, but you never know.
I got that as a double. He did a good job even getting a glove on that thing, and it was hit so hard in the gap. It's got to be a double. But Gung has been having good at bats tonight. You know, it said earlier that Ichiro got him twice on balls that he hit well, but right there, that one just gets down. Yelich knocks it down, cuts it off in the gap. Either way, that's a double.
So the first hit. I guess it's appropriate that it's Gung because he came the closest to the first hit in his previous two at-bats. On both those plays, Ichiro made really nice catches. Stewart now, his second at-bat. So a leadoff double. Pirates trying to chip away. You got Marte on deck. Miami's bullpen is in action. Chen went just 5 in a no decision in Atlanta. Juan Nieves out to talk to Chen. Dustin McGowan is up in Miami's bullpen. Chen, who travels with an interpreter that the Marlins provide, needs no interpretation there. Let's Motor, brought to you by the new Mini Clubman. Wei-Yin Chen signed with the Orioles, 4 years in Baltimore. Twice he was on the Olympic team. Three 3-0 now to Stewart. And Chen gets a strike. Pitch number 100 coming. The Pirates hit 2 balls hard in the 6th. Harrison's line drive out. Remember, McCutchen lined out to short. Chen here, the 7th, gives up Gung's double and walks a light hitting catcher in Chris Stewart. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Marlins are quick to react to this and Don Mattingly is on his way out. So from 6 no-hit innings to a hook here after a double to Gung, a walk to Stewart, and Miami's going to go to the bullpen. So Chen exits. McGowan will enter. Marlins would like to get some outs here in the 7th and hang on to this 3-0 lead. A West Kendall Toyota called to the pen. And nobody out. And they're into Miami's bullpen. Dustin McGowan makes appearance number 14. Now the Pirates lineup has lost a couple of bats. I told you about McCutchen and Francisco Cervelli. Gregory Polanco did not start for the 2nd straight night. He fouled a pitch off his foot earlier in the series. Wei-Yin Chen getting some refreshments from Marcell Ozuna. That's a good team. Marte is a tough guy to double up. He's bounced out, flied out. A lot of speed. Goes after the first pitch fastball and fouls it off. Miami's bullpen, after 6 innings of Adam Conley last night. Remember, Kyle Barraclough came in, had trouble throwing strikes. 1/3 of an inning, walked 2. Mike Dunn faced 1 hitter, gave up a hit. And it was David Phelps who was spectacular with an inning and 2/3, including strikeouts of Andrew McCutchen, David Freese, and Marte. So I guess the question is Phelps off limits? He's appeared in 2 straight games. He had an inning on Tuesday night. Liner to right. Stanton, good jump, and he's there to make the catch.
Oh, when the big man's feeling good, he can surprise you. He's a really good outfielder, and this is a great jump. He's already moving before the camera gets to him in the screen. Great jump on that ball. Catches it really easily, gets the ball in. That's confidence for your pitcher, knowing that, hey, I can be around the plate, let the offense swing the bat, and I still got help out there. Marte knew it before he got 10 feet down the line. Part of our stellar camera crew there.
Glenn working hard. Pop up infield, caught there by Bohr, and McGowan gets 2 big outs. A bolt to right for an out and a pop up to first. And there comes Matt Joyce. In Don Mattingly's perfect world, McGowan finishes this the 7th, and then he can decide who's available and who's ready in the 8th.
Well, he's gonna make Mattingly work, because on deck is Gregory Polanco, so he's ensuring that there's going to be another lefty coming in to face McGowan if he leaves him in.
Joyce takes outside. Joyce had the big hit for the Pirates last night, the 2-run single that tied the game at 2. That was in the 7th. And Chavarria untied it in the bottom of the 8th with his 2-out RBI double. It's 2-0. That pop-up finds the seats. McGowan, of course, a part of the Blue Jays organization for almost his entire career. A Philly last year. Been a starter and a reliever in his career. Has overcome a lot of physical obstacles, surgeries, and injuries. Fly ball towards the line. Yelich in full flight. Yelich runs out of room.
Unlike some ballparks, not a whole lot of foul territory here in Marlins Park down the respective baselines. You have to start pulling up a little bit when you get closer to that wall.
Two. Missed outside. Count full 3-2.
Sinker, tails away. Right call. Move it on.
Joyce, former Ray, working the count. 3-2 coming. Runners on the move. Line to right. That's trouble. It's over Stanton's head, and it's off the wall. The trail runner is Stewart. Round third coming home. The throw from Rojas, and he scores. He had a big hit last night that drove in 2 in the 7th. And he drives in 2 here in the 7th with a double tonight. Matt Joyce.
Doesn't matter how good of an outfielder you are, you're not going to catch this ball. This ball is barreled up. It's middle of the strike zone. Matty Joyce comes through again in the clutch for the Buccos. And when you got motion on the bases with that 3-2 count, that trail runner is going to score all the way from first on that double.
Gregory Polanco will pinch hit. Penny presents Polanco. Hit his first career grand slam on Monday. And in this ballpark, he's dangerous. Marlins are going to put him on. And McGowan will go after Harrison. You like that move?
I think it's a good move. Get your righty on righty, especially if you don't have a lefty up in the bullpen. Got the first base open. You know, I think the injury to Andrew McCutchen is what forced that at bat, because as soon as that double was hit, Clint Hurdle would have pulled Polanco back and then put in a pinch hitter. But because of the injury to McCutchen, his bench is short right now. So he's just got to let it play out, because he knows they're not going to pitch to Polanco right there.
Now Harrison. And because of McCutchen leaving with thumb discomfort on his right hand, Sean Rodriguez, who came in for him, is in his spot, and Rodriguez is on deck now. So now McGowan has to get Harrison for this to work in Miami's favor. And Harrison's not an easy out. You see all the singles. He's 0 for 3. Line to right his last time up. 5 hits in the series. McGowan is up, and it's 2-0. Bullpen phone ringing. And right now McGowan can't find the plate at a very inopportune time. 2 runs across. Miami's lead is down to 1. And a 3-0 pitch coming here.
Well, you got to think there's going to be some action in the Marlins bullpen real quick right now. And there it is.
Nick Whitgren which may answer the question as to whether David Phelps is available or not. Whitgren is up right now. 3-1 to Harrison. Swing and a miss, and he did McGowan a favor on a running fastball that ran way out of the strike zone.
Yeah, McGowan got around this one and yanked it, and Harrison chased it. Yeah, that ball's way out of the strike zone. Got a pitcher that's struggling with their command, and you do them a favor like that. The Marlins say, thank you, sir.
3-2 coming. Runners on the move with 2 outs. Got him with a breaking ball. How about that? He's showing him fastballs, and on 3-2 snaps off a gorgeous breaking ball. 3-2 Miami. That's always fun, and they arrive tomorrow night. 6:30 start. Marlins live. Tom Kohler, Noah Syndergaard. Some cool waves and some tasty buds. And then Saturday, 4 o'clock. Sunday, 1 o'clock. All brought to you by JetBlue. Jose Fernandez, Matt Harvey matchup on Sunday.
Now that water I get in, Rich.
So, Pirates, Marlins arrive. Bottom 7, 1-run game. Jared Hughes out of the Pirates bullpen. He's the first in. Juan Nicasio went 6 hits, 3 runs. Hughes gets Ichiro, who has 2 hits and 3 outstanding catches tonight in center field. Ichiro with a little smile for Chad Fairchild. The thing about Ichiro this year, it seems like when he gets hits, they come in bunches.
They have. It almost seems like this year he's a little bit more prepared for how much he's playing. Last year, it looked like it started to catch up to him, like he started feeling a little bit at the end of the year. This year, you know, maybe with having that experience under his belt, he might have altered his routine, his workout, his preparation to be ready for this.
Holds a ground ball, and it goes right under the glove of Freese into right field. Freese was way off the line, and Ichiro hit it well. It's going to be an error. Anytime it gets between the wickets.
Yeah, that's straight 5-hole right there. He just sat there, and that ball just beat him up, went right through him. Ichiro with a great swing. Body leaning out of the box, but somehow he's able to barrel the ball up quite often. And David Freese was just eating up by that ball.
Yeah, just leave the shirt alone on that one. It's an E3. Now Prado. 1-run game. Ichiro away from first. Remember, it's Stewart behind the plate, not Cervelli. Stewart has thrown out 2 of 7 base stealers, or would-be base stealers. At the start of the series, this 4-game set, we talked about the Pirates and their formula for success this year. A little different than last year. Dynamic offensive team this year. Pitching staff rotation-wise in middle relief, not as sharp as they were last year when Clint Hurdle and Ray Searage's team had a low ERA. Their ERA over 4. However, the caution was don't run into the back of the bullpen if you can avoid it. And the Marlins did avoid it until last night. And last night in a 2-2 game, the Marlins ran into Neftali Feliz. He was nasty. He's the guy that handles the 7th. And then Tony Watson, who looked great until Echeverria's RBI double with 2 outs. And that was the deciding hit, the deciding run, and the Marlins got to maybe not the very back. Mark Melancon has yet to appear in a ball game here, but they got to Watson.
The only guy in Major League Baseball with a higher save percentage than Mark Melancon is Aroldis Chapman. That's how good he is on the back end.
And you're talking career.
Yes.
Active players. 0-1. Prado drives that left center field, hits it well. Marte back at the track, makes the catch. One out, and here comes Yelich. Yelich's night, a pair of singles and a line drive out to first.
See, the shift here is a little bit less pronounced. The shortstop isn't all the way on the second base or right field side of the bag, so this is not a true shift. It's more shading than a shift.
Remember the other night in a similar spot, the Pirates tried to turn a double play on a bouncer to third, and it was Harrison that tried to get there from his position and not Mercer from short. And they did not turn that double play, and that was a key play in Tuesday night's game. Ichiro runs, got a great jump, and he's in there.
This is like turn back the clock night for Ichiro. He's doing a little everything. He's playing some defense. He's swinging the bat, stealing some bags. Oh, what a jump. Oh, my goodness, yes. That's an easy bag right there. Do it, Ichi.
501st career. That is Miami's first stolen base in 19 games. And the count's 1-1 on Yelich. Ichiro away from second. Hughes spins.
Too late, had your chance. He already got you now.
JT Realmuto last stole a base for Miami on May 13th. Nationals Park. Yelich taking a shot at that left side, which is open right now with Mercer playing way over. Almost behind the bag at second. Stanton's on deck. One out, bottom. The two teams ahead of the Marlins in the East are idle. So a chance to, if they can win this game, pick up a half game on the Mets and on the division leading Nationals. Mets are 3 back of Washington. Marlins a game and a half behind the Mets. And Yelich swings and misses. So Hughes gets a strikeout. There's 2 down.
Well, Stanton has made some adjustments. See right here on the left tonight, this base hit, he's more upright. The other one on the right is where he struck out. This on the one on the left, he's more upright, but his front side stays in so much longer. It's less rotational, and it's letting that backside do the work. On the other one, he spins out a lot quicker, doesn't quite get to the ball. These guys are always working, and it's nice when you can actually show what they're doing.
Barry Bonds joined us live from Miami's dugout and kind of described the work that he's been doing with Giancarlo Stanton. Frank Menachino also working hard. Pitch is in. And it's 2-0. See Stanton pounding that left thigh.
Yeah, that's just a hitter reminding himself, stay there, stay there.
In, and more in. First base is open. Justin Bour is on deck. Let's see if Stanton gets something to swing at here. And let's see if he does. Nope. Still a good sign. 2 walks tonight. RBI double tonight. So Bour gets an at-bat against this right-hander. It's 0 for 2. An intentional walk, strikeout, and a grounder to short. Got it, flips to first and gets the outs. Miami leaves 2 to the 8th. A 1-run game. 3-2 Fish. The 8th, second inning. The Fish get started. Denny Echeverria, hero last night, triples here, and that sets up Miguel Rojas.
Oh, big ball now. Here's a little bit of low ball with a squeeze by Rojas, and Denny Echeverria with a great jump. Fish on the board, 1-0.
All right, in the third, Giancarlo Stanton with a couple on. Good sign.
Beautiful sign. Stayed on that ball great. Drove it down the line. He scored it in. JT Realmuto adds on that third one with a sac fly deep to center. Yelich scores.
But the man that hurt the Fish in the 7th last night hurts him tonight. Matt Joyce drove in 2 last night to tie him. And tonight he drives in 2 to bring the Pirates within a run. 8th inning. Dustin McGowan still out there. First pitch, Rodriguez center field. That's deep. Ichiro back at the wall. Off of Ichiro. Rodriguez stumbles around second and then holds there. Ichiro had the ball bounce off of him but found it quickly and holds Rodriguez to a booming double.
Man, this Sean Rodriguez has shown some serious pop early in this series with a home run deep to right field, opposite field. This ball is off the gate in center. First pitch, Hackman comes out, ambushes McGowan. That ball's halfway up the wall. Ichiro did a good job getting on it quickly, keeping it to a double. Any more misplay, that ball's definitely a triple.
David Freese now. Rodriguez, that was his first at bat of the ball game, and McGowan misses. We asked the question, who would be available in the bullpen? You see Chris Johnson at first. After last night and Tuesday night, in which David Phelps and A.J. Ramos both worked. Kyle Barraclough worked last night, but was ineffective. Marlins have had a lot of shuffling in that pen over the last 3-4 days. As Freese taking a poke at that right side. He's so good at that. Nick Wickren is up for the 2nd time.
You know, and the fact of the matter is, David Phelps can't be the only one to come in and shut it down. You know, other guys have to step up. I'm sure they will, but you can't beat up the one guy, you know, that's been good for you in the 7th and 8th inning and bypass everyone else. Someone else has to come in and get the job done.
Well, the Pirates are thinking that they'd like to see Mark Melancon pitch in this series. He's up. And Freese hit in the hand by that fastball, was starting his swing. Chad Fairchild asked Jim Joyce if he did swing. Joyce said no.
That sounded like wood to me. I don't know. No, it got hand.
Yeah, and he didn't swing.
Wow. Well, it got in pretty solidly because that was loud contact.
Yeah, that's not a swing. So Freese is hit. Now, Pirates have lost Andrew McCutchen. He's got a sore thumb. He left the game after the 6th inning. Francisco Cervelli was hit in the foot by a pitch in the 2nd. And so Freese takes his base. Here's Jung Ho Kang. Wickgren is ready. McGowan misses down low. McGowan came into the 7th, got 2 outs, and then gave up that Joyce 2-run double. Intentionally walked Gregory Polanco, who was pinch hitting, and then struck out Josh Harrison. And that ended the threat. Big swing by Gung. Ball and a strike. Gung last year, 24 doubles, 15 homers. He slugged .461 in 126 games. And I think opened a lot of people's eyes. Chases 1-2.
Well, he was such a big help to that ball club, not just offensively, but when Jordy Mercer went down with the injury, he was able to step in and play shortstop some for the Pirates. Not just anybody can step in and play major league shortstop, and he did it well.
1-2 from McGowan. Emphatically, Jim Joyce says no swing, but the Marlins certainly tried to get him to chase that slider again. Rodriguez, the runner at 2nd. Freese flexing that right hand at first. Yes! He went. That's strikeout. And the first out of the 8th inning. That was called by Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire. And now here is Stewart. Well, the Pirates have already put Rodriguez in the game. Stewart obviously in for Cervelli, who left a couple of innings after getting hit in the foot. Polanco is pinch hit. McGowan out in front, 0-1. Stewart has struck out and walked. Marte is on deck. Fastball is up.
Lanson down there getting work in, looking at coming into the ball game. He's the final piece to the back end of that Pirates bullpen.
Slow tapper. Prado out there. Rojas turned. Oh, down! What a turn by Rojas! Freese was not being held at first. He was right on top of him. And Rojas with a bullet to first. Still 3-2. Into this double play. We talked about Rojas's turn. Let's watch it in full speed to begin.
Stewart with a chop, 2 hops. Rojas gives a great, Prado gives a great feed to Rojas. This is critical on this play. Look where the feed is. It puts Rojas on the backside of the bag so he's protected. So he's not, Freese is not on him, so he's on the backside of the bag. Now Rojas is not as worried about the runner. And look at this throw. He gets everything into this throw. And puts it right on the money for Johnson over there at first base. Now, there's a couple things we got to talk about on that. Number one, it being a chopper, Prado did the best job possible by protecting his second baseman by putting that throw on the shortstop side of the bag, right? And then you have these new slide rules that come into play with Rojas feeling protected because guys aren't really allowed to go through the bag like they used to, not as much.
I think finally is Freese was not being held at first, and it didn't look like he got a great start when the ball left the bat. And you see John Jaso at first base. I mean, Prado knows that. He's been a second baseman. He knows in a play like that, a guy needs protection, and he certainly gave it to Rojas. And here is Melancon. And it's not often on the road that you see a closer in down. In the 8th inning. But, as you pointed out during the break, he needs some work. He hasn't pitched in this series. Here's the other interesting thing. It's Kyle Bearclaw who's up in the Marlins pen, which is an indication that neither Phelps nor Ramos are available. The breaking ball from Melancon is up.
You know, and the fact of the matter is Melancon's got to throw now just in case his team does not score runs in the top of the 9th. You can't save him until the 9th to bring him in because the game's over. So a manager's forced to put his closer in the bottom of the 8th because of that reality.
And the double switch has Melancon in the 3 spot. Marte is due up in the 9th to lead it off. He's hitting 6th. That one pulled wide of 3rd by Real Muto. mlb.tv Premium, #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. mlb.tv. Visit mlb.tv for details. Real Muto with the count 2-2. Echeverria and Rojas in the pitcher spot for Miami here. Now it'd be interesting to see how Melancon reacts being in the 8th with not a 1-run lead to protect, but a 1-run deficit to try to keep. He's been really good. University of Arizona products. Real Muto, center field. Marte, warning track, makes the catch. And Real Muto is out #1. Here comes Echeverria.
Melancon is one of those guys that's a unique closer in this day and age, is that he's not that 95 miles an hour guy. You see guys like Koji Uehara, Mark Melancon, Luke Gregerson from the Houston Astros, AJ Ramos. Those guys are pitchers that are more complete pitchers because of their repertoire. They aren't 2-pitch pitchers. These guys have 3 and 4 pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. And when you look at the gun, Melancon might hit 91, maybe if he lets one really good go 92. But other than that, it's about location, keeping the hit off balance. But yet, he's one of the top closers out there.
His ability to cut that fastball helps him an awful lot too. Echeverria sprays a grounder to second. Harrison on to first in time, and Melancon has 2 quick outs here in the 8th. Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. This June, 28 games, 17 are at PNC Park. Marlins don't get there until August. 24 the 28th this June against teams with a winning record. Marlins know how that feels. They had a challenging schedule early, especially that run through San Francisco and Los Angeles, with a couple visits already on the road to DC against the Nationals. So Bearclaw has Marte, Mercer, and Joyce. Jaso is now in the 9 spot, so Jaso is due up 4th. Rojas, the squeeze bunt. That was in the second. Sends it to right. Joyce is there and makes the catch. No Ramos, no Phelps. Kyle Bearclaw trying to save it for the Miami up a run. AJ Ramos has saved 2 ball games in this series. On Tuesday night and then last night. David Phelps was the setup man for both of those. And both guys in the bullpen. Last 7 days, Phelps 14 pitches on Tuesday, 13 on Wednesday last night. Inning in 2/3. And there's AJ Ramos, 32 pitches to get through Tuesday. And he came back with a much cleaner night last night. So, Kyle Bearclaw, a closer in the minor leagues. He was the Cardinals' Double-A closer when the Marlins traded for him, sending Steve Cishek to St. Louis. Bearclaw came over, started in the minor leagues, but quickly got to the big leagues. A chance to save a ball game here in the ninth. Marte, Mercer, and then Matt Joyce. If anybody reaches, John Jaso and Josh Harrison. Throwing strikes was an issue for Bearclaw last night. He walked 2 in a third of an inning. On the ground. 1 out. Rojas handles it.
Tell you what, Marte has hit the ball well tonight. I know he's got 1 strikeout, but his last 2 at-bats have been absolute missiles.
Don Mattingly, Tim Wallach in conversation. Juan Nieves between them. Mercer is 0 for 2 with a walk. There's no question about Bearclaw's stuff. He has some of the best swing and miss stuff out of any bullpen anywhere. His strikeout per 9 inning rate, which is at 16.5, is best in the National League. Only Dellin Betances is better in the big leagues. And that one almost clipped Jordy Mercer. That one got him. And Bearclaw certainly isn't trying to hit him. Two fastballs, one came in, and this one came in even farther and hit that left elbow and then his side.
Yeah, that one didn't come out real good. He didn't quite drive it through the strike zone. It came out early. You know, and when you start hitting a team like this, even though it's not on purpose, it goes noticed. Because even though you don't mind guys pitching inside, you have to know how to pitch inside. And, you know, we've punked quite a few of them this series. I know they hit Dietrich, but we punked quite a few of them this series. And like I said, the Pirates led Major League Baseball in their pitchers hitting batters last year, and it wasn't close. They were like they were over 10 over the next team, which I believe was Houston.
Derek Dietrich, of course, hit last night, out tonight.
Actually, it was Anaheim that was second. But those things don't go unnoticed. So, you know, ball teams understand you got to pitch inside. But when you start plunking enough guys, you got to expect something to start coming back your way.
So, Bearclaw, as we noted, control problems last night. Now he gets into 2 guys who know the strike zone. And that's Matt Joyce and John Jaso.
That's going to leave a mark.
The 2 ex-Rays Now with one out, first Joyce, then Jaso. The tying runs at first. And a strike from Bearclaw. Joyce's on base percentage this year is at .463. And Bearclaw comes right after him and is out in front 0-2. Well, it was an enormous double play. And it got Miami out of trouble to end the 8th. Bearclaw's 0-2. Joyce asks for time. Outfield deep. When you no doubles in this ballpark, you are deep.
The ballpark is this size. Honestly, the no doubles is really on the infield because the guy can run it all and you hit a ball in between the outfielder, it's going to be a double anyway. You know, there's some ballparks that it works in the outfield, but really the no doubles really works on the infield here when you got guys cutting off the lines. Most balls that go that deep in the outfield, if the outfield is far enough away from it, they're going to be doubles.
1-2. Got him! Bearclaw. There's the swing and miss stuff.
You see the slider grip, watch the rotation. It's tight, it's late breaking, and it's on target.
Now Jaso, his first at bat. Ball to the screen, and that puts a runner in scoring position. Changes certainly the at-bat for Jaso here, and will change the defensive alignment. That one just clanked right through the glove of Real Muto.
It'll be interesting to see whether they call that a pass ball or a wild pitch.
It's a wild pitch. Jaso knows the strike zone as well. On base at a .367 clip. Having a really nice offensive year. 9 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers. And he's appeared in just 45 games. Mercer, the tying run, now in scoring position. Bearclaw. 2-1. Pirates won Game 1 in a blowout, but the Marlins and their bullpen winners on Tuesday and last night. But that pen not available tonight. 2-1 pitch is out. Instead, it's Kyle Bearclaw looking for his first major league save. Jaso ready. 3-1. That's a strike. Jaso had already started to first. When Bearclaw's needed a strike against the lefty bat, he's thrown this breaking ball. And this one just caught the corner. Josh Harrison is on deck. 3-2. Up the middle, into center. That's a base hit, and the Pirates have tied it. hit batter, the wild pitch on a night where Miami has done a lot of little things right. They do two big things wrong, and the game is tied.
And, you know, J-So was also understanding that the one pitch Bear Claw could throw for a strike is the breaking ball, so you got to know that it's in his mind that it could be coming. And he hits it, and he hits it well, and I feel bad for Chen because he pitched such a great game. But this is these are unforced errors for the Marlins right here that are occurring.
Bear Claw misses out on a night where the Marlins bullpen is obviously taxed with no Phelps and no Ramos. Now the Marlins need Bear Claw to get through this night. And keep it at 3-3, and he's 2-0 to Harrison. Whitgren is up.
You know, we talk about the swing and miss stuff of Bear Claw, but it gets negated when you don't make the other team swings to bat. When you hit other guys, when you walk guys, now you haven't let your talents play. You're defeating yourself.
How about a 3-0 rip there by Josh Harrison?
I don't mind that.
Well, Whitgren is ready. Bear Claw with a 3-1 coming. And it's fouled back. He's worked the count back full at 3-2. We got Rodriguez and then Melanson. Thus the importance of the double switch for the Pirates. A.J. Ramos watching. See Rodriguez. J-So be on the move again. 3-2 outside. I'm not sure that the Marlins can stick with Bear Claw much longer. As he loses Harrison. Don Mattingly went over and is conferring with Tim Wallach, gauging his thoughts.
Well, I think that question is, do we double switch? Do we go straight up right here? You know, how are we looking on the bench? Because the bench coach is the one that really keeps track of all that. The manager, he's doing catcher signs. He's following the play. Your bench coach really helps you keep a gauge on the way the lineup's rolling, who you have left on your bench.
Rodriguez now. And Bear Claw misses. It's 1-0. Rodriguez doubled in his only at bat. He came in after McCutchen left with a sore right thumb. Outside corner. On deck for the Pirates is Cole Figueroa. That's Melanson's spot. Melanson's only thrown 10 pitches. One and two. Neftali Felice has thrown in the pen, but is not throwing now. 1-2 here. Bear Claw has thrown 26 pitches, 14 balls, and a dozen strikes. It keeps the game at 3-3, and it may keep Mark Melancon in the game. Baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Dodge, visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. A lot going on here in the ninth inning. Pirates have tied the game. Cole Figueroa, last man off the bench, is in. And he's at short. And it's not Melancon who comes back out after throwing 10 pitches in the eighth. It is Neftali Feliz. And he will get Marcell Ozuna, who will hit in the 9 spot. That's the pitcher spot. Ozuna, Ichiro, Martin Prado, and if anybody reaches, Christian Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton. Feliz looked nasty last night. He worked a 1-2-3 7th. He struck out Yelich and Ozuna and got Prado on a ground ball out. And Ozuna gets a piece and fouls it back.
See the numbers there for Ozuna. It's a whole new guy, more patient, consistent approach.
Fastball in. Feliz stared in, thought it was a strike. Ozuna turns back to see Chad Fairchild, who flinched. See that right side move a bit. Feliz was a staple for the Rangers in their glory years 4 or 5 years ago. Coming out of that Texas bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes. Ozuna's night off tonight ends in the bottom of the 9th. Doesn't chase, and it's 2-2. We heard Barry Bonds in the 3rd inning talking to us live speak glowingly about Ozuna. .95 with a fastball. Three ball game here. Miami had a 3-0 lead. They couldn't get past the 2 Jays, the 2 X-Rays, Matt Joyce and John Jaso. Again, watching Ozuna take these pitches is at times startling, having watched him in his career.
Well, it happens when you get the right information. The brain is a computer. And when you put the right information in there, then you start getting the right results coming out.
Let's see what comes out of the hand of Feliz. Breaking ball, line to left. It hangs up, and it's caught there by Rodriguez. Really nice at bat by Ozuna. And here is Ichiro. Quite a night for Ichiro. 2 for 4. Outstanding play in center field. And he swiped his 501st career bag back in the 7th. Trying to get on here. Ichiro, right center. That one hangs up, and Marte runs it down. So with 2 outs, here comes Martin Prado. Nick Whitgren still throwing, though he has eased up on the throttle. He's been warm for a while, and it looks like Whitgren will come in the 10th. Takes a strike. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Yelich would like a shot. He's on deck. But Felice has the first 2 outs. The Pirates have used everybody on their bench. Felice's spot, Clint Hurdle's looking up at the scoreboard that has the lineups. Felice's spot is due up 5th if this game does get to the top of the 10th. And Felice is a strike away from delivering the game to extras. Boy, he's back to his form of 2010-2011 with the Rangers. Natali Felice has been nasty these last 2 nights. And this game is going to the 10th. 3-3 ball game in Miami. Extra innings are presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. All season long, feed your wild side. In Miami tonight, the Marlins had a 3-0 lead, and the Pirates have fought back, scratched, clawed, tied the game, and forced extra innings, and forced Miami to go even deeper into a depleted bullpen. Nick Whitgren enters now. Cole Figueroa, his first at bat. Jung Ho Kang and Chris Stewart also due up. The Pirates bench depleted now. Figueroa the last to come in off that bench. Andrew McCutchen left with a sore thumb. Francisco Cervelli left with a sore foot after being hit by a pitch. David Freese also out of the ball game. Remember, Freese hit right hand discomfort. Nick Whitgren quickly out in front, 1 and 2. So Chris Stewart is in the game. Sean Rodriguez is in the game. Polanco pinch hit. John Nicasio had an enormous hit, the game-tying hit in the 9th, and he's in the game as well. Figueroa in the air to center. Ichiro trots in, and he makes the catch.
Well, we know Mattingly is not really big on guys that don't throw strikes. That was one of the reasons why Cozart had to go down to the minor leagues. He was leading the league in pitches per inning and had a lot of walks. So if there is one thing that really irks this manager for the Marlins, it's guys not throwing strikes.
Jung Ho Kang now.
That was one of the reasons why Bearclaw didn't make the club out of spring training. Mattingly wanted to go down, get a little bit more season, and throw more strikes.
Whitgren, a closer in college at Purdue, and then a closer in the minor leagues. And so he's used to pitching in late game situations. Stanton has it, and Whitgren with 2 outs here in the 10th. Pirates bench. You see the three relievers at the bottom and Boscan at the top. So if you're looking for a pinch hitter,
just got to find your most athletic, best swing out of those guys. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, Garrett Cole had a homer and a double 2 starts ago. Francisco Liriano can swing.
It might be Cole.
But he pitches tomorrow. In fact, I wonder if Liriano is here.
That's a good call. Usually they might have that starter fly out early afternoon so he can get some good rest. That's why you're the best in the business, Rich. Always thinking ahead.
Well, he's probably down in the cage taking swings.
I'm pretty sure. I would not think he's down there anywhere right now. I think you're absolutely right.
One pitch is out. That's a practice for a lot of major league teams. If they have a night game followed by another night game in another city where there's a substantial flight, they will fly that starting pitcher. I'm always entertained by the story of a team that flew their starting pitcher out to San Francisco, a night game on the East Coast. When the team arrived at the San Francisco hotel at 6 in the morning, there was the starting pitcher to greet them, sitting in the hotel bar, saying, "Hey, what took you so long?"
You got to know who to trust that responsibility with, Rich. Every pitcher is not okay to leave on their own. Some of them need some supervision.
And I'm not going to name names, but that's a true story. And I'm sure it's happened many times in the big leagues.
I've actually seen that happen, Rich, on one of my teams. I'm not going to name names either, but I've seen that.
Crowd wanted it.
Wasn't 6 o'clock, but I've seen it.
Let's look at it. Wickren, good sharp break. And you know what? It's darn close. It's got the knees, and it looks like it's got the corner. 3-2. That's strike 3. No doubt about that. So Nick Wickren looks sharp in the 10th. Miami needs a run to walk off. Kohler lead it off tomorrow night, 6:30 for Marlins Live. Justin Nicolino, Bartolo Colon. On Saturday, it's a 3:30 pregame, 4 o'clock game. Sunday at 1 o'clock, Bark at the Park. And how about that matchup? Jose Fernandez and Matt Harvey. 12:30 for Marlins Live on Sunday. Mets and Marlins. Marlins and Pirates not decided yet. Pittsburgh goes to their bullpen again. A.J. Schugel.
I want to see Ichiro face Bartolo Colon. That's what I want to see. One for the old guys.
Well, expect an avalanche of statistics about the oldest matchup between hitter and pitcher. I don't think it's the oldest, but it certainly will rank up there. Yelich now 2 for 4. Stanton 4. Schugel's fastball at the letters and a strike.
I want to say it's got something to do with either Satchel Paige, Jamie Moyer, or something like that. It's got to be one of those guys. Somebody in that class.
Maybe Julio Franco.
Could be.
He played into his late 40s, right? 46, 47.
At least, yeah.
And leading off an inning, Yelich right at 500. Marlins would love him on base here. Changeup dies in the dirt. Schugel pitched on Tuesday night and worked a scoreless inning. Has a save this year and has his first big league win this year. Yelich, right field. Joyce on the track makes the catch.
81 miles an hour. Schugel took a little bit off of that. Got Yelich to hit the ball off the end of the bat. It was a good swing, though.
All right, here is Stanton.
So that changeup grip, sideways down rotation. Yelich is on it, but just off the end of the bat.
And Yelich knew it. Yeah, you're right. It's funny how they know it faster than
the hitter always knows.
We know it.
It's another thing, like foul balls down the line. Veteran hitters watch the hitter. The hitter will always tell you whether that ball's fair or foul or not. Young guys, not so much. They just got that young energy. They're just running.
Stanton has walked twice, RBI double, and a strikeout. And Schugel's not shy. He's gone after him. He's out in front. 0-2. Bohr's on deck. 0-2. Stewart wants it on the ground. He hung it. Oh, wow. On a hop. Figueroa. That was an absolute missile to short.
Wow. This ball is crushed. And see, keeping that front side on it, that happens. When that front side pulls off like he was a few days ago, that's when you get that swing and pull off the ball. That's a nice approach right there.
So now here is Bohr. He's 0 for 3. Or excuse me, it's Chris Johnson. And Johnson takes a strike. Two. 0-2. That ball to short, 115 miles an hour.
Strike 3.
Well, that was quick. Strike 3. Johnson goes down. Let's go to the 11th. Presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Jack Link's getting their money's worth tonight. Into the 11th. Nick Whitgren for Miami for another inning. He's got Starling Marte. The pitcher, and Schugel is on deck. And then you get back into Joyce and Jaso. If the Pirates could map this out, they'd want Marte on and Schugel trying to bunt. Hopped up the bunt, and Real Muto spinning as it dropped behind him. That's tough for a catcher. You see the ball up, and you're not sure if it's in front or behind. Watch the reaction.
And it doesn't give you time to figure out which way it's going because it's not that high of a pop-up. That play's not made very often.
Marte, an 0 for 4. Pulls that one foul. John 2-2. Looked like he stayed at his post. I don't know that he left it. All the men and women of Fox Sports Florida working hard in extra innings. One and 2 to Marte. Wei-Yin Chen for 6. Dustin McGowan. Marlins staying away from David Phelps and A.J. Ramos. And down goes Marte. All right, let's go back to that foul ball. Left side of your screen. Oh, we did not see.
The post just saved Craig Minervini hiding in the corner.
Usually it's saved by the bell. This was saved by the post.
That is the old metal clipboard trick. Yes.
What happened to the plastic one?
That broke with a Stanton grounder about 2 years ago.
So you decided to go metal?
We got metal.
Metal on metal.
Rebarb is next if this doesn't last.
Now Schugel can swing it. He had a home run in the minor leagues. He takes a healthy rip at that. Counts 0-2. So the Pirates are out of position players. Schugel hitting here. Wickren misses with a slider away. Matt Joyce is on deck.
Well, he's getting his money's worth up there, taking some good hacks.
Tony Watson is up. Watson usually an 8th inning guy, and that's another one of the oddities about tonight. It was Mark Melanson who worked the 8th, and the Pirates were down a run. Schugel strikes out. Wickren has retired all 5 that he's faced.
He's looked sharp, thrown strikes, been around the strike zone, mixing up his pitches, putting guys away.
He's having a solid year in New Orleans. Actually, better than solid. A 1.42 ERA in 10 appearances. Here's Joyce, and boy, has he been a pain in the neck for Miami. 2-run double tonight brought the Pirates within a run. 2-run single last night late tied the game at 2.
Well, I like what I'm seeing from Wickren. He's staying right around the plate. When he misses, he's not missing by much early.
To left, Yelich in and there and makes the catch. All 6 that he faced, Nick Wickren retires. And the Marlins go to the bottom of the 11th in a 3-3 game. Real Muto, Echeverria, Rojas. Pittsburgh, Miami. Wei-Yin Chen, way back when this thing started, was on it tonight.
A great night tonight. 100 pitches, 6 innings pitch, 3 walks, but more importantly, he kept the Pirates hitters off balance. Didn't give up much good when he got ahead in those early 2-strike counts. Expanded his zone with the fastball up, slider down. Overall, very good performance.
He had 6 no-hit innings. Gave up a double to open the 7th. Wow, that was close to a fair ball. Real Muto just wide of the bag at 3rd. Real Muto, Echeverria, and then Rojas against A.J. Schugel. It's down low. Chen lost his no-hitter in the 7th, and he was out after the next batter when he walked Chris Stewart. Dustin McGowan came in, got 2 outs, but gave up the 2-run double to Joyce. Both runs charged to Chen. Good sink on that.
He's doing a good job of changing speeds, not letting hitters get that same pitch back to back. He switched it up with Yelich, got him off the end of the bat, showed him the 81 miles an hour changeup, then with a 93 miles an hour fastball from Schugel right there to Real Muto. And there's another changeup.
Yep, righty on righty. And that great sink. Real Muto strikes out. Schugel's 2nd inning. His dad, a time baseball scout and executive. Marlins lineup are now Dietrich, to our knowledge, not available to hit. He could pinch run if you needed him. Gillespie and Mathis. So Don Mattingly's in pretty good shape. But you see Phelps and Ramos' name down there, and the Marlins don't want to go there unless it's an absolute emergency. Echeverria got Cody Hall and Mike Dunn in the pen. Whitgren is 2 hitters away, or his spot, I should say. See if Schugel throws that changeup with 2 strikes.
He's got such good arm speed, such good downward motion on that pitch. Righties or lefties are going to have a tough time picking up that changeup. Here it is again. And you can tell he's confident in it because he throws it and there's no hesitation. His arm speed looks just like his fastball speed of his arm, but he lets the grip takes the velocity off the ball.
Look at the grip, split grip.
Yeah, see, a lot of people split those first 2 fingers, the pointer and the middle finger. He splits the ring finger and the middle finger.
That's a straight fastball and a bouncer out to Harrison. And so 2 outs. Here comes Rojas. Cole Gillespie is on deck. Rojas 0 for 3. You see the Marlins bench. Marcell Ozuna already used as a pinch hitter. Johnson came in for Bohr. And a breaking ball misses down low. Rojas a pop up that finds the seats. Derek Dietrich right now. Just kind of, I'm sure, hoping he can do something to help the ball club. I would expect the only thing he could do is pinch run.
But interestingly enough, he had both batting gloves on. That's something that, you know, it's a difference. He is pinch running possibly, but when you got on both batting gloves, it's usually a hitter's thing. I can't imagine he's feeling good enough to hit right now. 2. Now, when you're facing a guy like Schugel, the first thing you want to know is, well, how hard does he throw? What's the velocity of this reliever? Then what's his out pitch? And right now, I got to say it's that split that acts like a changeup. I got to say that's his out pitch.
Fastball, and that one, wow, that one almost made it into the other camera well down the first base line. That almost got the Pirates post-game post. Miami's last hit was Ichiro's 4th inning double. And a fastball, Rojas strikes out. So Schugel goes 2 scoreless. And this game is headed to the 12th. Marlins, if you're a baseball fan, you need to get the all-new Fox Sports app. Highlights, interviews, injury updates, scores, instant alerts on your favorite teams and rivals. Download it now in the App Store, Google Play, or visit foxsports.com/app. Nick Whitgren has thrown 25 pitches. And here he goes into the 12th. It's his 3rd inning of relief. John Jaso, Josh Harrison, Sean Rodriguez.
Rich, my snack situation is not ready for 12 innings. We might need to retool a little bit here.
Both teams are getting some quality innings out of bullpen arms that normally aren't lined up for the back of a ball game. Wittgren has retired all 6 that he's faced, and A.J. Schugel has done the same for the Pirates.
Well, this one may come down to who doesn't beat themselves. You know, who doesn't walk guys, who doesn't hit batters, who doesn't make errors, who doesn't make mental mistakes.
1-2. Rojas on to first in time. Of course, we wouldn't still be here were it not for Jaso's RBI single with 2 outs against Kyle Barraclough. And that, I guess, is the storyline right now, the fact that the Marlins were without David Phelps and without AJ Ramos tonight. Don Mattingly trying to stay away from them, and he has so far. Barraclough trying for his first major league save. It didn't go well in the ninth. He hit a batter, Jordy Mercer, and then gave up the hit to Jaso, walked another batter, and struck out Sean Rodriguez. Phelps and Ramos chatting up. Ichiro has been all over the place tonight, and on the warning track he makes the catch. Well hit off the bat of Harrison. So 2 down, and there comes Sean Rodriguez.
Harrison has hit about 3 balls right on the nose tonight. And the only time he got on base was a base on balls in the 9th.
Rodriguez doubled in the 8th, struck out in the 9th. When the Pirates get home early tomorrow morning, they've got the Angels waiting for him tomorrow night. Echeverria on to first. Nick Wittgren retires all 9 he faces. Outstanding stuff for the young right-hander. Preston, who needs Cuban coffee when you have the energy team? I don't think he needs either of that. He would like to hit.
Well, after he got his thumbs knocked off yesterday by Garrett Cole, I don't think he wants to hit right now.
And you know what? The senior sluggers are still here. They were in uniform en masse and have been in their seats and been watching this for the whole ball game. Schugel continues. Well, a few sluggers have headed back, but most of them still in uniform and still watching.
Oh, they're still into it too.
Ball and a strike. Cole Gillespie gets the at-bat. This is the pitcher spot. What an effort by Wittgren. And the Pirates certainly have to be pleased with A.J. Schugel, who has retired all 6 that he's faced. He had the 10th and the 11th and now the 12th. Central Arizona Junior College. Schugel out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. To right, Joyce is there and he makes the catch. So Gillespie is out number 1. Here is Ichiro now. Ichiro has a couple hits and he hit it well his last time out. He lined into right center. Marte ran that ball down. See Schugel joining Jared Hughes, Mark Melanson, Neftali Felice. Marlins got all 3 of their runs off of Juan Nicasio.
I spoke to Cole Gillespie earlier today about that type of a bat. He said earlier in the season he wasn't getting any chances, but a lot of times he was coming up with nobody on. So the really only way to have success is to get a hit or get a walk. So just hitting the ball well, you can't move a run over, you get a sac fly. So it puts you in a position where you almost have to be perfect in order to feel like you have a productive out. So even if he hits the ball hard at somebody, it's hard to feel good about it. But he did say that sac fly got him going before he got his start and got those 2 hits in 2 consecutive games.
That was in the Rays series, and Ichiro walks on 4 pitches. And so after retiring 7 straight, a bump in the road for A.J. Schugel. There's Prado now. Marlins have been aggressive on the bases. Ichiro a stolen base in the 7th. They started Real Muto. And his attempt to steal a bag was stopped by a foul ball. And of course the squeeze bunt was successful in the 2nd. Let's see what Schugel looks like from the stretch with a runner on. It's out. And it's 1-0.
Well, if Ichiro's thinking about going now, this is money bag time. This is, you need that bag to get in scoring position. See if you can pick up something off this pitcher. Maybe try to pick up one of those split fingers or run on.
Yeah, that's the pitch. If you could choose, that's the one.
There it is. A lot of times when catchers are good, though, a lot of them have learned over the years that some guys get out there on first base, and while you get your lead, you can take your peek in. If you look at the rotation and spin, how that ball just dies. You get your lead, you can take a peek in. If the catcher's legs are a little bit wide open, but see how close he's got him there? That's a good job by the catcher, making sure he's keeping that sign tucked deep in there.
Prado uncharacteristically came out of his shoes on that split change.
Yeah, he did.
Long look at Lenny Harris.
See, Stewart isn't a really big guy, but the guys that you get like that are like the big guys, like used to be like Eddie Perez or Mike Piazza, those big, really big guys. It's hard for them to get those legs closed.
Prado asking for time. At the knees and plenty of the plate. Schugel now at 37 pitches out of the pen. Schugel a starter most of his career. He drove back in with a dive. Yelich up next. Bouncer to shorts. Figueroa. Harrison's turn. Not in time. Prado beats it. And that buys it at bat for Yelich near the bottom of the 12th.
Good try on that turn, but Prado just gets down there too well.
Yelich was the first guy to face Schugel in the 10th. And remember, Schugel threw him that split change. Yelich was on it, but just got it off the end of the bat, and his fly ball landed in the glove of Joyce on the warning track and right. Now it's Prado, the winning run at first. Yelich takes down low. Base hits his first 2 at bats, a line drive out, and And a strikeout and a fly ball out.
Oh, right center. In the gap.
In the gap. To the wall. Prado racing for third. Up with Marte. Here comes Prado. Ball game. Walk off. And the Marlins outlast the Pirates. Christian Yelich ends it. Let's go home, says Yelich. And the Marlins impressively take 3 of 4 from the Pirates.
That was a loud double in the gap. Wow.
And in 12, Miami wins it. Let's go down to Craig Minervini. Craig?
All right, yes, it took a little longer than you would have hoped, Christian, but a great series. How about that last at bat for you?
Just trying to put a good swing on the ball and, found a gap and Martin's able to score.
There's nothing like the moment of a walk-off win for you guys.
Yeah, that was awesome. Witt kept us in it, 3 solid innings and, we were able to push one across.
What does this series mean to you as a ball club? Pittsburgh comes in first night, Christian. They blow you out of the building. They're one of the top teams, certainly in the National League. And here you come back in the 3-game, win the series, 3-1. I think it says something about the Marlins. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good ball club over there. And they've been a good ball club for the last few years. So for us to play them hard, tough, that's something positive for us. And we need to build on it and, take it into the next series.
And this club has been able to hang in through injuries, through slumps, through whatever. The pitching has picked it up. When you look at how this ball club's come around, this is the 1/3 mark of the season. What are your thoughts as you look back? You're 29-25 right now. High water mark of the season for the 3rd time, 4 over 500.
Yeah, we've done well, but like you said, it's still early, so we got to continue to play, good baseball.
David Phelps got him. All right, Christian. We'll let you run in there. I know it's an orange bat.
That's cool.
You deserve it, though. Good job tonight and a great series. Mets are coming in. That should be fun.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, guys, take it away.
Well, Christian Yelich ends up with 3 hits. A lot of heroes around, but you heard Yelich talk about Nick Wittgren and his 3 scoreless innings. Perfect. He retired all 9 that he faced. He gives Miami an opportunity to walk off.
Well, I guarantee you he got his manager's attention. Those 3 great innings. Great job coming in, settling everything down, giving his offense a chance to finish this game off with a walk-off.
And Wittgren gets his first Major League win, so congratulations to him. Yelich blasts one in the gap, and Prado races home, and Miami wins it in 12. Marlins Live is next.